Hello there, my friends. Hello there, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of The Random Show with your host, Agostino Zinga. It is The Random Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and I hope you are well wherever this live stream may find you. I hope you are doing very, 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 very well. Okay, that's what I hope. I really do hope you're doing good, because I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I'm loving life. I'm doing all the things I need to do, and I'm absolutely winning. That's what matters, right? I'm absolutely winning, and I hope you are winning too, wherever you may be. I hope you are winning too. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while since I've checked in with you. I do apologize for the radio silence. I've been out here living life, doing the best that I can with the time I have available, but I really do hope that you're going to join me on this barnstorming show. It's not going to be super long today. I do apologize. It might be about just over 2 hours. Apologies for pushing the time back a few times, because I had to get some stuff sorted out, because unfortunately my computer's not the greatest at the moment. I know I keep complaining about this, but my computer isn't the best, so I've got to I've got to download some videos. I've got to clear some windows to get everything kind of going where it needs to be got. But I think it should be okay now. I really do think it should be fine. So big up everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you. Big up to Stream Chat. Big up NJ Ranger. Now, this isn't a fresh cut. I got this actually a while ago, but I think probably I've had a hat on. Maybe that's why people are saying so. But no, this isn't a fresh cut. This is actually from a week ago. So big up you guys anyway. I do appreciate the compliment, and big up everybody for hanging in there. Thank you for chilling. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate all of you who are always chilling and hanging out with me. It's always much appreciated. I quickly wanted to mention this just as a quick kind of intro to the show, right? I really want to mention this because I think this is really important to kind of highlight. Whatever happened, I wonder what happened to I wonder why this happened. So I've just been checking out this episode, right? I'm about 20 minutes in. A recent episode of THEO Vaughn's this past weekend, episode number 483. It features this kid called Billy Strings. No idea about Billy Strings. Have never heard of Billy Strings record in my life. Before this interview, I didn't even know Billy Strings was an artist. So I don't even know who this guy is. But I'm gripped. I'm listening to every single word. The kid comes across really smart, really kind, really cool, really chill. And I'm just interested to listen to the episode because THEO's on it. You know what's really interesting? There was a time when I was listening to this past weekend where a lot of the fans were saying that they preferred THEO's solo episodes. But I think THEO doesn't like doing solo episodes. He prefers talking to people because I guess he finds it boring. But most fans actually prefer it when THEO is talking on his own. But somewhere along the line, he pivoted and started doing more interviews. But instead of doing the usual interviews with the usual people who go to all podcasts, he does them with his own little THEO twist. Like, he talks to people that you would assume THEO will be into, that are in THEO's kind of orbit, that would get his kind of humor, and some people that are kind of, a little bit out of the, a little bit kind of, a little bit, out of the box. But overall, I was just thinking, I wonder why the Brendan Schaub, I wonder why the Fighter and the Kid didn't do the same pivot. I wonder why they didn't figure out, hey, maybe the whole MMA comedy scene market is tapped out. Let's maybe focus on some other people, not just cancelled people, because they try to do that thing, right? They try to become the new home of like cancelled people. Forget all that shit. Why not pivot into something else and start interviewing other people to kind of refreshen the show and to give it a little bit of a new lease of life? Because I feel like this past weekend has had about 2 or 3 different versions of the show, has kind of come about over time, and it's because THEO's been able to kind of reinvent it and kind of breathe new life into it, and now it's in this kind of lane where obviously he's moved to, I think it's Nashville or whatever, so he's maybe a little bit more closer to the home of country music, and he's obviously interviewing a lot more people over there who are kind of tapped into that industry. But in general, everyone that he interviews on the show is super interesting, whether it's somebody that works a regular job, whether it's an artist like Billy Strings, or wherever it may be, or whether it's Kat Von D, whether it's just him sitting by himself talking about shit. He's always really interesting. So I really do wonder why the Fighter and the Kid never made the same pivot or never evolved the show. Because I feel like, again, it's not their fault. I think there's only a certain amount of things you can talk to with your co-host. After a certain period of time, you're always going to get a bit bored. But I feel like an easy way to kind of win on this side of things is just to kind of interview some different people, just to kind of give the show a different perspective, maybe to kind of reinvigorate the hosts themselves. But it never was done, and I really don't understand that. That's the one thing that's really odd, because they're still in LA. LA, you'd imagine, is still a great catchment area for people because everyone passes through LA to go to the entertainment industry. So you're always going to get great guests because of just where you are. So the fact that they can't kind of clock it, and it's just them sitting down, you know, reading stuff on Google and shit and moaning about the comedy store, the comedy industry, is weird. Like, can't you kind of see what's happening to the show and pivot and evolve and, you know, turn a new leaf, whatever? Maybe not, who knows? But anyway, big up Theo Vaughn. Very much enjoyed it so far. It's only, again, I'm only 20 minutes in, but I'm absolutely gripped. I like it, and I like how he's kind of pivoted into some new stuff, and I can't wait to see what else he does in the future. Continuing on from this might be, and I'm not, you know, saying this, I'm not saying this, you know, to be hyperbolic, but this legitimately might be one of the most embarrassing clips I've seen in my entire life. Embarrassing for all the wrong reasons. Embarrassing mainly for BRYAN CALLEN. So big up the Fire and the Kid guys for uploading this clip. It features BRYAN CALLEN talking to these two other comedians, and they're basically calling him out for stealing one of their jokes. It's pretty cringe. I really do advise you, if you've got a pillow, to cover it. Cover your face with it. Obviously not too close because you might suffocate and die, but I really do implore you to sit back and check this clip out, because this might be the most embarrassing thing I've seen in my entire life. Let's play the clip.
Before we started that,
you've been doing my bit for a year.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to apologize.
Jesus,
I'm doing, this is the bit I was doing.
I didn't even know.
What, this is literally my bit, okay? I'd be like, I don't do cocaine anymore. I did cocaine, and I was literally woke up. I was coming up with ideas for businesses. I was like, looking at my friend. I was like, let's open a candle shop, which is, I think, word for word your joke. Wait, hold on. You tell me what it is. But that's my joke, and I go, we'll open a candle shop, but wait, we'll sell huge candles, like massive ones, because if you own a castle, where are you going to go to get candles? And it's funny. People like it.
For sure. And then you ended it on that super physicality.
Yeah.
Right?
First of all, that joke wasn't even that funny. Second of all, the fact that you need to steal that joke and it's not that funny says more about you, the stealer, than the person who wrote that joke originally. You heard what I said? Number one, that joke wasn't even that funny. The fact that you had to steal it says more about you than the person who originally wrote that joke. And catch this as well. For everybody out there who I doubted, again, people on the internet are so perceptive. People in the chat, people in the Reddit, people were saying from the get-go that BRYAN CALLEN looks like a cokehead. And I didn't believe it because, you know, I've been around them, right? I may have dabbled in the stuff myself, and I know what they look like. And he never looked like someone like that. But now it's making sense, because who else, why are you making coke jokes if you don't do coke, right? It doesn't make any sense. So clearly, you know, a lot of these guys are into the devil's dandruff. Fair enough. But the joke isn't even that good, and he's stealing it. This goes to show you the level of creativity, the level of artistry in the comedy scene at large is, you know, is nil, is non-existent. Non-existent. That's why, in my opinion, I think stand-up comedy is probably one of the lowest forms of art out there, or entertainment. It must be one of the lowest, because it's the easiest barrier to entry, really, for the most part. But it's also got the most people who are probably quite crap doing it. You know, the only other industry where I can think of where there's a lot of people who do it and it's also terrible might be DJing. And that's another field that I'm involved in. I think DJs might be the only industry where it has a ton of people doing it who are terrible, but they're making a lot of money. And I think the same goes to fucking stand-up comedy, because these guys are fucking horrible.
So crushing it for, I probably did that bit for at least 7-8 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go ahead. You don't owe me
anything. I had a dream, and I go, because Mike and I used to do the road together, and I go, I think Mike,
Yeah, big up Owen, appreciate you.
Picture, I saw you doing the bit, and I go, Mike, there's a bit about cocaine and candles.
Yeah, coke. Yeah.
What is the joke?
You took 2 of my bits and you combined them, and they're in the same section. But I'm not even mad. I think Callen's such a great performer. Go ahead.
Yo, I'd be
Let's call it.
I stole it.
Yo, let's call it a tribute.
Word for word. If I had recorded that, it would have been.
I'm not even mad is always something that someone says when they are actually mad. I'm not even mad is always something someone says when they're actually mad.
So bad, people would have been like, look at this scumbag, which is why you can't, if you have funny friends, don't watch them too much.
No.
I
There's
mean,
no
that
such
is-
thing as
it's
a
a
cover
great bit.
comic. There's cover bands, but not cover comic. Well, there is now. Apparently.
No,
That's
sir.
pretty cool.
No,
my
please.
my bit
dedication.
started out with, you ever talk to somebody on cocaine? They always want to start a company with you,
Oh God.
right?
Great joke.
Yeah. Then we start rolling.
Is it though? Is it though? Is it though? Is that kind of joke a joke you take on stage? Or is that not the joke that you'd share with some people over the grill? Or when you're at the bar? Or over a text message? Sometimes there are jokes that you write on Twitter or that are jokes that you write in a group chat that bang in a group chat, but you don't take them on stage. Guess what? Isn't it funny when you're on drugs and you want to start a business with? It's like, what? Like, huh?
Rolling into like they start a company, then it ends up becoming like commercial real estate, and then I transition into let's start a candle company. So
Well,
listen, Bry,
that's your
there's
joke, bro.
There's
Yeah.
a chance
That's
you
your
didn't
joke.
take it.
You know what? Take
What?
the castle with the big candle.
Can I have
That's
the
yours.
castle?
Yeah, you can have the castle.
Thank
joke.
you,
Nice.
because I like that addition.
It's a good addition.
So-
It's a great addition.
I was just working on
How
an
did you
addition
find
for-
out he was doing it, or did you tell
No,
him?
He called me.
Oh, okay.
I
It wasn't on a special.
I
or
probably
anything?
saw that bit. I mean, back in the day.
Of course, Brian called him, right? The consummate cuck, innit, right? He's fucking butthole like clenching, and you obviously called him.
45 times in a row.
times.
Yeah.
And so for
It's one of my
me,
top
I was
bits.
like, it's one of your top bits.
I'm known for it.
One of my good friends' top bits. I'm doing and getting great laughs.
Damn it.
And it was a straight up. I mean, there's no way to hide that. My subconsciously stole that, which means subconsciously I'm a thief and a bad guy.
I would imagine your subconscious only steals jokes when you're not writing jokes. I'm sure if you're doing stand-up and you watch enough stand-up, there's a part of you that sometimes can internalize people's jokes and you can sometimes rewrite them. But if you keep writing, if you're always writing new bits, most likely you're not going to always do that because there's so much stuff that you want to say anyway of your own. But the fact that you don't have anything inside of you probably is a reason why when you watch somebody doing stand-up and they've got a great joke that you like, you internalize it and then copy it because you don't have anything. That goes to show that you're not writing. And again, it goes to show that these guys, they talk about how much they work and how much of a road dog they are and that they're all beasts and killers. But the bare minimum to do stand-up for me personally, and this is something that I'm going to say here boldly because this is something that I wear proudly as a badge of honor, even though it doesn't matter, right? I've got a whole library of mixes on my SoundCloud right now, right? If you go on my SoundCloud, I think it's soundcloud.com/handsomeblackman, all one word, you'll find hundreds of DJ mix on there, DJ mixes that I've done, hundreds of hours of content. And I can guarantee you there's not a single mix on there that has the same track list. It's all new stuff. Every time I'd play, and again, this is me, I'm a nobody in the DJ world, right? In the DJ world, I'm sometimes playing in bars where there's like one person. I'm sometimes playing for drink tokens. Sometimes I don't even get paid, right? Sometimes the promoter runs away and I don't get any money. And I've traveled an hour there to go and play. I'm playing for 4 hours to nobody. My back is hurting and the promoter runs away. So I'm a nobody, right? But even me, I'm playing in bars where people are eating and they got their backs turned to me and the lights are all on. I will never play the same set twice, ever. So if you're a stand-up comedian and you're performing for 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, come on, for fuck's sake. Give the people a show. Obviously perform some of your greatest hits, but most of it should be new stuff. Challenge yourself, man. Write something new. And these guys don't. They don't even write. They have a job as a podcaster that allows them to have a free schedule where they can do what they want, right? So you have more time to write. They can write in the morning, they can write in the afternoons, they can write in the evenings when their kids gone to sleep. They can write whenever they want. They can perform in the middle of the week, but I can't. Right? I have to maybe schedule it around my work, right? And they don't write jokes. They don't write jokes. Can you imagine? They don't write jokes. They still jokes from other comics who are just like grafting as much as they are. It's like it's actually incredible how much these guys don't write. It's absolutely quite incredible. And I'd go so far as say this. Please let me know this. I think the only stand-up comedians who actually write a lot are, number one, the ones who enjoy stand-up and like love the art of joke writing, right? There's some comedians who just love zingers. They love to fucking, rib on stuff. They love to talk about things. And also comedians who maybe have deals with, big distributors and stuff of stand-up comedy like Netflix and Amazon, because it gives them a reason to write, because they've got specials they have to kind of, they have obligations you have to meet. But I think most of these guys don't write. That's my theory. I think most of these guys do the Bobby Lee thing. That's why it's probably a bit hypocritical for them to come at Bobby Lee and say, oh, you don't write, you don't do a special. Because I think most of them would prefer just to kind of go out on the road and perform their greatest hits on autopilot, right? Bert Kreischer would probably love nothing more than to do a whole tour around the world talking about the Russian mob story or something, or the machine story. I bet you any money. If a company came up to Bert and offered him a deal where he could do the machine story, every... he could do a machine story world tour, he would take it. And I think most other comedians would as well, because it's less work.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
I still came in traffic.
Still came in
So
traffic.
it wasn't on.
Yo, big up Uche, what's good? I seen Stavros live recently and he made a point to do all new material even though he just dropped a special. Big up Uche. Yeah, Uche actually went to see Stavros actually. Big up Uche. And yes, this is what I love to hear, because that's what you should be doing, honestly. Because stuff like this, right? I kid you not, and I'm being honest. If I go to see Stavros and he performs a new set like that, nothing similar to what he did on a new special, I'm most likely going to see him again. That will make me want to see you again when you're in town. Or maybe I might even travel to go see you, because I know every time I see you, you're going to be doing new stuff. You're going to be trying out things. You might have some new, you might tweak the stuff you did before. It's actually going to make me more of a fan of yours if you put in a bit of work, a bit of effort. But these motherfuckers, they want everything handed to them on a silver plate. They want everything easy. Good podcast deals. They don't want the podcast for too long. Not too many guests. Not too many episodes. Not too many shows.
On TV or anything like that. It was just on the road.
No, just on the road.
Imagine if you saw it.
By the way, what a great friend. I love that you called me.
You know who-
Mike, I got a question.
Knowing
You
the answer.
you ever do a bit about cocaine and starting a business and candles? I go, yeah, for like the last 12 years I've been doing that.
We were together.
It's one of my hitters. It's one of my bangers. It's on my special. It's everywhere.
Honestly, can you imagine how embarrassing this is? Can you imagine how embarrassing this is to be fucking Bryan Callen and you're resorted to the level of having to copy a fucking cocaine business fucking bit? This is similar to the Brendan Schaub Bud Light joke, right? Him sucking a bottle like it's a dick. It's not that you stole the joke. It's that you had to steal that level of a joke. You don't have the comedic brain, the creativity to make up that sort of joke. You have to steal that one. Come on, bro. Come on, brother. That makes you look terrible. That makes you look awful. You look at the worst.
The Lions Den by Money Line. We're here with the boys, man. We're here with the boys.
Forget your intro. We're at the Super Bowl.
We're at the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Is that play action that good?
Yes.
Is that play action that good by Stafford?
No. Think of
I love how you pronounce the Super Bowl. But yeah, big up the Frighten the Kid guys. Appreciate all of them for always uploading these amazing clips. That's obviously the title. You can see it there if you want to check out yourself. If you want to see it there, if you want to check it out yourself. But yeah, the creativity in the comedy scene is like all-time low. All-time fucking low. Next clip. Left your sick child to go to the car shop. Let's see what this is saying.
on stage with Matt. Okay.
Rife?
Yeah. And this woman is like, she's like, this is our day off from the hospital.
Right.
And I'm
In the middle of the show?
Yeah. And I say, well, what do you do at the hospital?
Yeah.
Are you a nurse? She was like, oh, no, my kid has cancer.
Right.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
And so then I say, so you left your kid with cancer.
Right.
to come see Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
We made a joke. And the lady's like,
Yeah.
like,
Wait a minute.
Dude, I didn't know this. I got subpoenaed. I was at the car shop. 2 cops walk in, give me a subpoena. I'm like, what's this for? Like, you're a key witness in this trial coming up. And I was like, okay. And they're like, you had to be here tomorrow. And it was like right the baby girl stuff's going down. I'm like, it ain't happening, man. They're like, oh no, you have to, otherwise we'll arrest you.
So you're mandated to go.
Yeah, mandated.
I didn't know you had to be a witness.
It's kind of mad, isn't it? I know we all deal with like family stuff different, but imagine if your kid's in hospital and you're at the garage getting a new exhaust fitted on your car and shit. Can you imagine that? Honestly, like, you can only get away with that sort of stuff if you have, like, I wouldn't say a docile wife, but you have to kind of be wearing the trousers and you maybe have to be paying the bills to get away with that sort of stuff. But the type of girls that I've been involved with, the women that I'm usually attracted to, would never let me do something like that. Never in a million years would I be able to get away with being at the car shop while my kid is on a defibrillator somewhere. That would never happen. It just wouldn't happen. Like, it wouldn't happen. I wouldn't be allowed back in the house again. Do you know what I mean? The fact that these guys can do it probably says a lot about their position in a relationship. Like, they are the main guys in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I wear the trousers. I'm the man of the house. I'm the leader of the house. I pay the bills. Like, I pay for your Vegas trips. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, I do what I want. Like, there's that kind of vibe there, which is, you know, whatever. No judgment, but I'm just saying I couldn't get away with that.
Have to.
So you went and had that.
I had to put on
Was
a suit.
the guy there?
Oh yeah, I had to put on a suit, go at 8:30.
That's still legendary, isn't it? That's still legendary. That clip is still, that screenshot might be one of the most legendary screenshots ever. Right? Court fit, no, funeral fit, sorry. My grandma would want me to flex on my family just a tad. Can you imagine how trashy you have to be posting a fucking funeral fit selfie before you go to bury your grandmother? Here's me dripped out in Balenciaga. My mum wouldn't want me to stunt on my fucking haters. I love it. I fucking love it.
I don't know if you know how the judicial system works.
Oh, dude.
I got there at 8:30. I didn't do shit till about 3:30.
That's right.
And I go, I'm going to leave. And she goes, you can, but if we call her and you miss it, it could be a warrant out for your arrest. That's how they get you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
COVID was a bad time for all of us, to be fair. I think there was a period of time where we all looked like this during COVID. I know I did. I think we all had a period during COVID where we looked like this, innit? We were just at home eating and shit. Not much movement. Like, COVID killed all of us. Probably maybe that's why Ozempic got invented. Maybe Ozempic got invented because we all got COVID bodies. Right? Everybody put on like what, 10 to fucking 50 pounds or maybe more during COVID, and they had to invent Ozempic because people were just like struggling. I mean, to get that weight up, especially the more you advance in age, the harder it becomes. That's probably why everybody collectively got put on a bunch of weight, and then boom, Ozempic gets invented. But yeah, big up that clip, absolutely legendary, absolutely legendary. It really is. Let's move on to this one. This is pretty funny, right? So Brendan got into a bit of a tit for tat with this girl called Nina Marie Danielle. I don't really watch a lot of her content, but I know she's the next big rising star in MMA journalism and stuff and content creation. She does interviews for the most part, kind of, loosey-goosey, funny ones. She's an attractive girl. People like the way that she kind of, jokes around with the fighters, and she does bits inside the octagon and shit, and just generally a kind of different type of personality around there doing all that content, UFC type shit, right? So people love her. All well and good. For some reason, she decided to get on Brendan's bumper about something, right? Which is kind of funny. So let's play the clip first, because I haven't actually seen the clip itself. Yes, I want to actually watch the clip and to see maybe if Brendan might have a point here, because she kind of went in on him and they kind of had this weird back and forth. But I want to see what Brendan actually said to her, because maybe he had a point. Maybe Brendan actually had a point for once and he wasn't talking out of his arse. So let's actually see what happens here. why they were actually going back to back to back to back. But I think it might be an interesting one to check out. So this is Brendan talking in general. So let's see what I'll go on here. Bear with me as I put this up on my screen because I have to download videos now because my computer's fucking slow. But let's see. This is a clip that she's basically responding to. This Nina girl. Let's play it.
So this is all orchestrated. This is all designed, you know? So I don't know. A bit of it makes me feel, again, this might be my age showing. It seems just kind of scummy. It's just weird to me. I don't know the SNEAKO kid. I know he's talking shit about Mikey. That's our boy. It's weird to have a guy who was a former world champion just kind of tee off on him. Even though he asked for it. Ignorance is bliss. The kid's an idiot, clearly, if you're going to get beat up by Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland's the perfect.
Okay, I guess they're talking about the Sean Strickland and SNEAKO sparring match, right? Where towards the end, Strickland just goes crazy and just starts weighing into fucking SNEAKO. For me, as an outsider and not knowing much about SNEAKO, I just thought it was incredible that he's able to stay on his feet. And I thought it was incredible he's able to hang in there and, you know, whatever. Like, he was getting hit with fucking bombs, right? Because Strickland was literally lighting him up. Maybe not the greatest look on Strickland, but Strickland also has a bit of a psycho. It kind of is what it is. You know, UFC is a bunch of renegade, psycho cowboys type of company, right? And Dana White doesn't really have much of a leash on any of those type of dudes. So it is what it is. But I wasn't that pissed off about it. I didn't really have much feelings around it. Maybe as a actual professional fighter, as somebody involved in the combat sports and stuff, maybe it's unprofessional from Sean to do that to somebody that's a regular civilian, whatever. I'm sure there's some, you know, people in the industry, people in that sector are not happy about it, but it wasn't enough for me to kind of be like clutching my pearls. I wasn't that bothered about it. Do you know what I mean? If anything, it's, you know, I guess for all men anyway, it's important to kind of know your limits. And I think for someone like a SNEAKO who maybe is known for kind of being a bit of racy and doing controversial kind of content, it's probably good to kind of have that level of humility where you step in a ring with somebody who's a legitimate world champion and, you know, he lights you up and you basically are understanding where your kind of levels are at, and it might kind of temper you and humble you a little bit. That's why I saw it for that level. But I think if you're looking at it from just a general public world view, if you're looking at it from like a UFC world view, it's probably not the best look, right? To have one of your professional fighters out here in the octagon basically weighing into some regular person. Do you know what I mean? It maybe doesn't look the greatest, but again, is it enough for me to kind of fake outrage? Not really. I don't really care. But, you know, Brendan's on this weird kind of lane where he kind of does this stuff on purpose to kind of get back into the algorithm, because to give his show a bit of a pep, because, you know, no one's really checking for his show for just his insight. So maybe he has to kind of ride these waves and have these opinions just so he can kind of get. So I kind of get it. I get the hustle, to be honest. I get the hustle. I get it.
I for it. And Sean, you know, he says, I'm doing the Lord's work. I'm beating up influencers. But by partaking in it, Sean's influencing a significant amount of people as well. Like, we're all influencers. Now, Sean has way more skill and has earned his right to be an influencer in the fight space, right? He's a perfect guy to beat up these influencers, you know? It's just something weird about it. It's all orchestrated by the UFC.
What? Okay, now I don't get what he's talking about. The general point of saying there's something weird and scummy about Sean Strickland lighting up SNEAKO, fair. Maybe you don't want to see it. Maybe it's unprofessional. Maybe it doesn't paint the UFC in a good light to have their professional fighters like lighting up literal regular civilians. But then to say it's the UFC's fault, like they did it on purpose, huh? I guess he means because he feels like Dana White is in bed with streamers. Maybe he's trying to say because Dana White hangs out with like Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat and shit and Speed, maybe this is another extension of that. He's kind of trying to lean into that kind of streamer world by somehow green lighting the SNEAKO and Strickland link up. I don't know. That's a reach. Okay, now I get why that girl was kind of saying this shit about him, because that's a weird reach. Anyway, let's go back to the actual caption. What does she say? So this Nina girl heard what she heard, you know, saw the video, and she replied on her tweet with the following. Let's see what this Nina girl said, because that end bit was strange. Here's the thing about Brendan. I love the guy, but this take has to be more stupid than SNEAKO agreeing to spar Sean Strickland. Brendan Schaub, do you really think Dana White and the UFC would risk it all for SNEAKO and Strickland? how I have an answer for you is hell no. Okay, she's being a little bit UFC shilly, to be fair. But, you know, I don't blame her because she's literally in business with the UFC. She does a lot of stuff for the UFC broadcast and stuff. She's been a little bit, you know, she's kind of sucking them off too much. But what Brendan said at the end was a little bit crazy to suggest that, you know, that the UFC is in the business of what? Getting UFC fighters to beat up streamers for what? What's that going to do for the UFC? I don't understand. Like, what? What is that? I don't understand what that promotion is all about or that bit of marketing. What does that make any sense? To not like the clip itself and to think it's unprofessional and to think it's unbecoming of a fucking, you know, champion to do such a thing. That's one thing. I get that. It's not classy. It's trashy. It's whatever. I get it. It's not professional, blah, blah, blah. But to sort of have it be a conspiracy thing and to have this type of face where you feel like you're like uncovering something is odd. But I also think this is kind of a symptom of Brendan just never really not really being at peace with the fact that the UFC did him dirty. Because he's doing this whole like dance where he kind of sucks off Dana, then he says he doesn't like him anymore. But he just needs to be okay with saying the UFC is a scummy organization, which it is. We're allowed to say it. Yes, they put on good fights. They put on good cards, right? They have an incredible roster. We know that. But by and large, the UFC is run like shit. Not run, no. The way the UFC treats their fighters isn't the greatest. And most likely that is the reason why we have these sort of events happen, because the fighters are literally, you know, some of them are making like less than minimum wage out there, right? It's absolutely crazy. The fact that fighters are literally overdrawn, they're making like 30 grand a year, if that, right? They're having to pay their coaches and shit is horrible. So this there's an argument to be said for the fact that professional UFC fighters are linking up with streamers so often. It's probably because they don't, you know, they basically want to make money. They basically want to increase their profile, just get good brand deals, whatever it may be. So they've been put in these shit positions financially by the UFC that's making them have to do things they probably would never do because the UFC doesn't pay them well. But if Brendan would just accept that fact and be okay with, hey, the UFC and Dana White are pieces of shit, how they deal with the fighters, I'll be fine. But he wrestles with the thing of like trying to suck off Dana because he makes money, but then also knowing his history with the UFC and how they treated him and how they cut, you know, his deals and his sponsorship. He just needs to be at peace of just saying, hey, it's okay to be like the UFC is a piece of shit. It's okay to say that. It's okay. Especially him. He can say that too because he's a former UFC fighter. He has every right to say the UFC are run like shit and they don't treat their fighters well. They don't pay us. Like he can have he can hate the UFC more than anybody, to be fair, because of how his career ended as well, the UFC. But anyway, whatever. Let's move on. Brendan replies to the Nina girl with the following. And it's funny too. This Brendan Schaub reply is funny because I'm going to show you why, based on this fucking post I found on Friday Kid Reddit. It's fucking hilarious. But Brendan quote tweets her and says, listen, here's the thing about Nina, basically following the same template she did, right? I love the girl, but she's new. Yeah? How long are we going to pretend the UFC has morals and this is such a reach? Wow. That's such a coherent sentence. Did he put that in ChatGPT or something? That's such a coherent sentence there. Listen, here's the thing about Nina. Love the girl, but she's new. How long are we going to pretend the UFC has morals and this is such a reach? Maria, you attend every power slap event. He called her Maria. Okay, her name isn't Maria, but anyway. Maria. Nina Maria. Okay, cool. Maria, you attend every power slap event for starters, which was created by the ownership of the UFC. Legit MMA journalists are banned for not giving cupcake questions for UFC events. Don't even get me started on the fighter pay. Assuming UFC is open to a YouTuber getting his ass whooped is far from a bad take. A lawsuit doesn't scare the UFC. Please look into current lawsuits from over 100 plus former fighters. I can go on. How this is far from a reach. Still love you. Towards the end, it kind of loses its way, but this is maybe one of the best. This is probably one of the most well-written paragraphs or blocks of text I've seen from Brendan ever. In a long time, sorry. Not ever. I'll say in a long time. So bravo to him for that. He probably went over this a million times. So bravo for him in this regard. But it's still a reach. It's still a reach. To suggest that the UFC is in the business of hiring YouTubers to go to First of all, we haven't seen many YouTubers get absolutely lit up the way that SNEAKO did. He might be the only one. We've seen them roll with UFC fighters. We've seen them do some touch butt shit, but we've not seen any UFC fighter actually weigh into as influencer or a streamer the way that Strickland did to fucking SNEAKO, right? That was just some wild shit. That's why the fucking timeline lit up, because we've never seen that. So let's just relax a little bit, right? It's not the norm. Let's fucking chill out. But I do love the fact that he, you know, read it the way he read it. Absolutely amazing. But what makes this so funny? You know what makes this? You know what makes this hilarious? You know what makes that fucking absolutely hilarious? Is this post, courtesy of the Fighting the Kid Reddit. Brendan's like history for the past month. I don't know if you can see this where you're sitting right now, but I'll just zoom in slightly. Somebody posted this on Reddit. Look at Brendan's like history, allegedly from his fucking Twitter account. Look at it. It's all pictures, selfies in particular, of this Nina girl. Of her in various fucking, you know, selfie first trap things, right? In bikinis, whatever it may be. Look at that. Look at that. So he's very familiar with who Nina is, right? Very familiar. So when he says, still love you at the end, right? He means that. When he says still love you at the end, he fucking means that, because look at that sea of likes. Fucking hell, Brendan. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine? Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Look at all the he's got a thing for this lady, innit? He really does. I'm not too sure why. It's absolutely nuts that he's that loose with his like anyway, especially being married with a wife and stuff. You have to be a little bit, you know, you have to be a little bit careful with how you fucking like stuff on social. Even if somebody's wearing a nice outfit, it's a red carpet look, you know, even if it's like, oh, I achieved something post, you have to be very careful what you like, because, you know, your name coming up on there and stuff is not the great, especially if you're in a relationship. But the fact that he does this probably, again, shows, you know, he definitely wears the trousers, he's leaving the house, he can do what he fucking wants, but it's fucking hilarious. He's very familiar with this lady. He fucking loves her, innit? Fucking hell, the first is strong. Look at that. Absolutely legendary. Absolutely fucking legendary. So let's go back to the post here. I actually want to see some of the replies on here. What did some of the people say? Because some of the Twitter replies are always the best, right? Let's see. Brendan, did you just call her Maria? I think you could actually have CTE. She's right and you are wrong. How do you keep taking L's? SCHAUB, you are a clown. When it comes to bad takes, Brendan is the king of them. Fucking hell. I don't know how you can beat Crocop and still be a casual fan, but here we are. That's a good point, you know. That's actually a really good point. How can you beat Mirko Crocop and still have the opinions of somebody that barely watches the sport? That is such a good point. Her name isn't Maria. Nina is more of an insider than you'll ever be. Why not just ask Dana White if Sean beating SNEAKO was part of the big master plan? Very possible a clout chasing streamer was willing to get beats for views. True. SNEAKO is a rumbler, not a YouTuber. Why is it her fault that MMA journalism sucks so bad? She can lap up all the within. She can lap all of you within a calendar year of showing up on camera. Brennan with a W. Are you gay? You speak as if we recognize you as a credible voice in space. Don't come after her. My girl. SCHAUB is the most annoying clown ever. And somebody put up somebody put up a head-to-head picture. Nina Marie Danielle, Brendan SCHAUB, the Gringo Pappy. What's the record that says here? 16 to 12, 14 to 70. What was that? Subs 13. Okay, we don't care about that, but that's hilarious. Why is it so far-fetched that an influencer wanted to spar with Strickland for clout? We've seen influencers do way worse for views. Also, Power Slap was not created by the UFC ownership unless Dana White owns the UFC, because it's not under TK Holdings. Stopping by the way to say Mike Bell rigged. Okay, cool. Whatever. So you get the gist, right? You get the gist. You get the gist. Brendan's out here. I wouldn't say he's clout chasing, because that Nina girl kind of came after him first. But the point he made was fucking dumb, to be fair, especially towards the end. Acting as if the UFC is colluding with fighters to like, it's like, what? Can't he just be SNEAKO got lit up because he's SNEAKO? He's kind of annoying anyway. Strickland's a bit of a psycho. Maybe SNEAKO told him to weigh him in for the views. Maybe Strickland just snapped because he's a fucking psycho. Who knows? Either way, it is what it is. Keep me moving. Big up, Abe.
Wasn't him Bapa. He just got control back of socials.
Exactly. Exactly. Big up, Abe Martinez. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, hilarious little back and forth there. I also think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Sean Strickland also reply back? I'm not sure what he said, but he said something was strange. I don't really know. Whatever, whatever. But yeah, you know the gist. You get the gist. Brenton's out here trying to make his dreams come true, and it's not happening. Yeah, big up Fashion Roman. What's good? Bang your doors, bang your chest, brother. What's happening? And big up everybody in the stream chat also tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Make sure you smash the like button if you're enjoying the show and you like what you see what you like. Please make sure you're smashing the like button down below. That's all I ask from you, okay? Smash the like button down below. Don't be stingy. Don't be fucking stingy, okay? Don't be stingy. That's all I ask. Don't be fucking stingy. Cool. Great. Let's continue. Let's play this clip. This clip is absolutely incredible because this might be a best example of two two like has-been comedians coping with the reality of the situation, which is sad because I feel like, especially in Brendan's case, he doesn't need to be in this position. If he would have played his position and would have just been okay being the lovable, idiot jock guy and kind of stayed in that lane, he probably would have been pretty successful as a stand-up comedian. Sorry, because I feel like stand-up in general, from the stuff that I've watched over the years, I'm sure you guys have felt the same way, the quality isn't the greatest across the board. There are a lot of people out there who are probably, I say, far worse than Brendan, who are making a pretty good living out of stand-up comedy, who are doing pretty well for themselves. So it's not, Brendan's not funny enough to make a living out of it. I just think for whatever reason, his perspective and view of how to make it is really strange and warped, right? And he's kind of married to this fake it till you make it idea of kind of pursuing his career to the point where it's basically led to him kind of self-imploding. But if he would have kind of played his cards right, he probably would have been okay still. But now we're in a position where he kind of quit comedy, then he unquit, but now he's trying to cope and trying to act like, oh, I'm only quitting because of my kids and I'm choosing my family because going on the road isn't the best for raising your kids. I don't know. It's a strange fucking rant. I'm going to play it for you and stop it in bits, and obviously comment on it overall. But you can check out yourself if you want to on the full episode. But it's an incredible insight into these guys' mindset because it shows you, how weird they see their career and stuff. It's strange. And let's play it and you can see what I mean.
Yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts by far the funniest. And Matt Damon, he's like, it's tough to be a friend, man. He made him do like a rap video for J-Lo. He's like, I don't want to do this. And they're dressed ridiculous. It was great. By far the best one.
He said, remember when I said I'd do anything for you? This was anything.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I don't want to be here. He's like, I'm so sorry.
That's a lot.
Yeah, he was great. The commercials weren't wonderful.
No.
Not like they used to be.
Tom Brady was in, I think, 2 or 3.
That Ted
Tim
Kennedy.
Kennedy was
JFK.
JFK.
That was interesting. RFK. That was interesting because they you know what they did? You know what that commercial is? They took
JFK, RFK. Never met him.
an old John F. Kennedy commercial and just
sick.
put his face on it.
Sick.
Kind of genius, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
He's still not going to win, but sick.
No, but it was like a harken back to before the digital age. It's
That's
like,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here
I
you
thought
go.
it was cool.
Again, that's what I mean by traditional. It's like that you can see
right.
America goes right back to these old school traditional things that worked. Like the minute the NFL, and you were talking about this, the minute the NFL started getting super progressive, people were like, I'm out. I'm out.
The NBA can do it because different fan base, the ratings are down, but the NFL, that's religion.
When did the NFL get progressive and woke? What is this narrative? When did they get progressive and woke? What?
Hear about
It is.
What, because they put rainbows on their boots and stuff during fucking Pride and something? Is that what they're talking about? What are they talking about? When did the NFL get woke? Huh?
I mean, you mess with the NFL?
I've been in LA too long. And one of the things that I was talking to him about being in Florida.
By the way, Brian Callen now lives in Florida, by the way. That's an interesting perspective, isn't it, right? That's an interesting change. Brian Callen now lives in Florida.
I'm in this we bought a house in this community, you know?
Of course, a community. Always behind the gate, Brian Callen, right? Man of the people. Always living in some sort of property behind a big fence or behind a big gate. Love it.
And all of those kids, all those people there they're American, some of them working class, middle class.
Working class people in a fucking private community. Exit out.
There's this big amenity center with 3 pools and all this stuff.
It's like a rec center?
Yeah, and all the kids go there, and all the families go there, and all the blocks know each other, and the whole block has
a block. He's acting like he lives in fucking Boston or something. Oh, no, he lives in fucking Baltimore. Like, relax, brother. Like, relax. It's a block by name only, but it's probably armed guards outside of your fucking residence. Let's relax.
They all get together. They watch the Super Bowl together. They go to games together.
Big up Theodore.
Only a trust fund kid would sit like Brian.
100%, 1,000,000%. Imagine being a trust fund kid and you're 60. That's maybe the goal for all parents, actually, to be able to make money to a point where you support your kids after you've gone. But imagine being a trust fund kid in your 60s. That is like wealth, innit? Your parents can support you from the time when you're born all the way to 60 years of age. They're literally having to give you an allowance.
The soccer fields are across the street. I've been so removed from this shit living in this fucking town where you have to drive your kids to every single...
Yo, big up, Abe.
Female referee. No head-on-head tackles. Soft sport.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, that's what they mean by being woke, right? You've clocked it. That's it. Female referees, no head-on-head tackles, soft sport. Yeah, exactly. It's gone woke now. It's like, what? That's all. Okay, cool. Sorry, inclusivity and diversity mean that the game's gone soft. It's gone gay, right? Like now the NFL is gay. All right, cool.
Where there isn't any of that community. And
I told Brian, I have that here, Bubba.
I was like, that
hair or here? Hair.
The stuff he's talking about, I have the exact.
Yeah, because your kids play sports.
And then family,
you get to know all the
kids.
families. They're all blue collar.
Well, on the weekend, that's where I'm at.
You live in LA. You work in an industry where you're surrounded by entertainers and celebrities, and then you're complaining that your kids don't have people around them who are like regular folks and stuff. You don't surround yourself with regular people. You don't want to be around regular people. So why are they acting like they suddenly want to be like, this is a strange shift, isn't it? They're both trying to act like they're men of the people. These guys purposely constructed a life where they don't have to communicate or be around regular people and regular civilians. They look down upon regular people and regular civilians, even though I would say the large majority, especially of Brendan's fan base, are regular people, which is odd in itself, but regardless, I think most of them, he probably would never want to hang out with, right? Never want to hang out with. But now all of a sudden, now you want to be a man of the people. Now you want blue collar people around you. Now you want working class people around you. Now you want regular kids around you to kind of what? To ground your kids because they are talking about going on like half-term vacations to Paris. That's your fault. You put them in the fucking private school, you know, and they're surrounded by kids who have parents who are legit multi-millionaires and super celebrities. What did you expect would happen? You kind of made this world. You kind of made your bed. You have to lie in it, innit? It kind of is what it is.
Weekend.
Yeah.
Like, that's my crew now.
And you can ingest this idea that you need a shitload of money to be happy. And I know it's cliche. But
the guy who's got a dad who still pays for part of his bills, most likely. The guy who hasn't had to work a regular job in his entire life is now telling you money doesn't mean much. Money's not everything. Money's not... Honestly, bro, these guys, they're so patronizing. They're so full of shit. And it's so unnecessary. You go to these podcasts and listen to these guys share their funny stories, insights into celebrity world, into stand-up world, whatever it may be, right? But you don't tune in to hear these guys lecture you on life. I'm sorry. No. You've been an adult pretender your entire life. Big up Nerdrotic. You've been an adult pretender. You've been a professional adult pretender your entire life. You don't know nothing about living in the real world, which is okay because that's your place in society, right? To kind of occupy this role as a comic and have a different perspective on stuff and be able to, that's cool. We come to you for that. But don't try and pretend you know the struggles of the everyday man. You don't. Let's be real.
We do live in a culture, and I'm talking about LA culture, where it's just grind. Try to, you're comparing with people. And then you see how a lot of the world works and you go, oh man, you guys are so fucking happy. And you have an idea of what's actually really important.
How patronizing is this? You guys don't have any. You guys only have one car. You guys don't even have a Tesla and you're happy. How? You guys don't even have a Tesla and you're happy. I can't believe Brian is shocked that people's kids who don't go to private school are well adjusted, right? People whose wives who don't have fucking Birkins are like chill. I can't believe you guys are just chill and you guys just hang out, you have some fun. Come on, man. Regular people have been, anyway, let's not even go into this.
They're not on their fucking phones. They're playing all day. They're playing sports.
Again, that's on parents, though, B.
It's on parents.
It's on all the parents.
It's on parents.
Yeah.
Not really. Well, yeah. Well, yes, really, but whatever. Let's
this woman we were at her house.
What do you say? Let's go back there again. This woman I was with. Hold on. Sorry.
But we do live in a culture, and I'm talking about LA culture, where it's just grind. Try to, you're comparing with people. And then you see how a lot of the world works and you go, oh man, you guys are so fucking happy. And you have an idea of what's actually really important. These kids are not on their fucking phones. They're playing all day. They're playing sports.
Again, that's on parents, though, B.
It's on parents.
It's on all the parents.
It's on parents.
Yeah.
This woman we were at her house, and I said, my wife said, they have 6 kids. My wife said, do you see how...
This woman I was with, are you fucking her? You moved to Florida and is already fucking the neighbors. One more time.
Yeah. This woman we were at her house, and I said, my wife said,
this woman, well, what? You just moved into a new neighborhood and you're already fucking your neighbors. Brian, chill.
They have 6 kids. My wife said, do you see how every single one of them is with us and they're playing? My son's playing with trains. They're playing with my son. They're doing all this stuff. She goes, not one of them has been on a tablet or a phone. Not one. I'm telling you, in LA, that is non-existent for me.
I'm sorry, but that's your own fault. That's your own fault, isn't it, really, isn't it? Like, and that also goes to show the wealth and what happens when you have money in it, because they thought they were crushing it at one point, right? Because they're able to afford tablets and iPhones and stuff, right? You give their kids a shit, they kind of disappear and you can kind of get left alone. So they thought they crushed it, right? It kind of gets rid of the kid and you can do your own thing. Then you move to an area of a part of the world where maybe those things aren't not say readily available, but not every kid in a house has their own fucking tablet. Maybe they have one to share, between each other, and it's a whole different way of interacting and playing around and shit, and their minds are being blown. This is actually quite sad because it makes you see how much they live in a bubble. This is the sad part about it. They live in such a bubble that they can't see outside of it until they leave to go to a completely different state. Because I'm sure there are kids in LA who live exactly like these kids in Florida, but they don't see it because they don't hang around anyone else in LA who isn't an entertainer and shit. But because he's forced to live in a completely different state, because he's chosen to live in a completely different state and you're with different people, you're kind of forced in that position to be around other people that you probably wouldn't hang around with otherwise, and now you're seeing a completely different way of life. But again, it's a sad indictment on how they live their lives, because how can you be so closed off from humanity that this is the first time you've ever seen regular kids or regular families? Like, fucking hell, bro. It explains a lot of their worldviews and some of the dumb things they say on their fucking pods, because they really don't talk to regular people or just people in general.
where you're at.
I know.
Out here, it's normal.
And I'm not
here,
saying
Bubba.
I'm normal. I'm saying I'm the one with the problem.
I know.
And then you
got to
see
get
that,
out of it.
and she goes, "Oh, there are no."
Why is Brendan telling him you got to get out of it when he is out of it? And why is he lecturing him when he's still living in LA? Like, Bryan Callen isn't living there anymore. Why is he acting as if like he is already... Anyway, whatever.
Into my house. These kids, they're not allowed to. I was like, but you have a 17-year-old. She goes, she's not in my house. He's not doing that.
Wow.
As long as
Big up NJ Ranger. Appreciate it, brother.
Hey Brian, you tried wife, B? Grift hard, are you old? Tell me, how traditional is it to have an outside family, B?
This is what we're gonna get now, isn't it? Bryan Callen, the traditionalist, right? Is this the next grift? Is this the next grift? Are we seeing the building blocks? Big up NJ Ranger. Are we seeing the building blocks of the next grift? Wholesome Bryan Callen. Family content. Is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see family vlogs from the Callen household. Please don't do that. Please, I beg you. Please don't do that. Please. Please don't do that. I beg. Just do your jokes. Do your physical comedy. Talk about fucking philosophy on your podcast and get all the shit that you're talking about wrong. But please, no grift. No more grifting. Please.
in my house, you're here with us. You're not on your fucking phone. And I was like, damn it. And it's sick. It is sick that I'm saying this, that's weird for me. It's sick that I'm going.
Well, at least there's some level of self-awareness there. He's aware that it is quite crazy that he's saying that, because this is like the norm for most people. You know, it's just that I bet you even, let's take a step back. I bet you even in the LA rich people circles, there are people who raise their families regularly too, who don't have all their kids on fucking iPhones, who kids go and play and they're well adjusted and shit, and they're not fucking, you know, they don't live in a bubble. They have a good worldview, understanding of people around them, and they have loads of money. They're privileged. They're in the 1%. I'm sure they exist as well, but these guys go out of their way not to communicate or not to be around regular people. Then you know, they kind of look down on them. Then they're forced to because of their relocation, and now suddenly their eyes are open. They're like, oh my god! It's like, bruh, this happens on a daily. You know what I mean? This is normal.
Oh my god, that's so new. No, that's normal. You know, Santa Monica, Los Angeles is not normal.
LA proper is not.
It's
normal.
just not, man.
It's not normal.
And people were talking about, we should actually we'll talk about this when we do the live podcast, which is this Thursday, everybody.
In
Vulcan,
Austin, yes.
Vulcan Gas Company. I can't wait.
One show only, yeah.
But we'll talk about this basically some more. But you know, people say, "Oh, Brennan retired from comedy." No, you didn't retire from comedy.
No.
But he did though. What's with this refusal to admit that he retired from stand-up comedy? I don't understand this. Like, it's not a bad thing. This refusal to accept that he's retired because it just hasn't worked out is actually making it worse. It's not a bad thing to quit something if it's not working for you. Not like, he had a good run. He made a bunch of money. He got famous. He got famous from it. Great experiences. Maybe able to travel the world, literally. Right? Some stuff, memories that'll last forever. Made from friends. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Zero with quitting. Especially when you I wouldn't say you quit on your own terms, but kind of quit on your own terms, right? He kind of was forced to because the ticket sales weren't going great. And maybe he was probably spending too much money traveling and putting on shows as opposed to making it back. And, you know, he's obviously not in it for the love of comedy, because if he was, he'll still be doing local sets and places. But it's okay. It's perfectly fine to quit things if it's not working for you. It's perfectly okay, especially in their position where they're blessed to have a podcast that's still got a listener, that's still got a big fan base, you know, relative to what they do. They're still able to make money from sponsors and ads and shit. It's not that bad, really. Rogan's still their friend, kinda. They can still do the fight companions and whatever they do. Like, it's not that bad. But this refusal to accept that he has quit is bizarre, because he said it himself. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, he obviously used his kids and his family as a human shield, but we know with Brendan, he's never going to ever kind of take any personal responsibility because, you know, he's that weirdo like that. But in general, like, I don't know. It's not that surprising that you'd quit because it wasn't working out. Like, what's the big deal here? But they still refuse to do it. And I really dislike this whole, like, Brian speaking for him thing as well, which is odd. Like, I'm going to back up my boy. It's like, come on, man. Like, you made this monster, really. Like, you can't just be real and be like, hey, it's probably a good thing you quit. You know, spending more time with your family. It wasn't working out. It's no shame in kind of hanging it up. And you could always come and revisit it later. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, it's strange how they just refusing to accept that he quit when he said he quit with his own fucking mouth. But hey, what do I know?
Right now, you're doing shit with your family and your kids that is so much more important and so much more fun.
The family was there before, though. This is what I don't understand. The family was there when he was selling a bunch of tickets. Now he's not selling tickets. All of a sudden, the family matters again. It's like they matter more now. Where were they before? He had a family before. It was probably more important for him to be with his family when they were like babies, right? Especially when the wife kind of had, I think, Tiger and Boston back to back in short. I think they're kind of like maybe 3 years apart or something, right? I'm sure that was probably a pretty crucial time to be at home when your wife is like struggling with like 2 kids under 5 years old. Maybe that's when you should have been at home. Who knows, right? But whatever. You've decided to do it now. It's all well and good. More praise to you. But this whole like, oh, now all of a sudden my family is important thing is like, come on, bro. Your family were always there. Like, you chose not to be there because you're pursuing your career. Now your career isn't going anywhere. You're back with your family. That's fine. But let's not use this excuse. Come on.
When I went to the bathroom in my friend's house, I was taking a pee, and she said the most important work that you will ever do is within the 4 walls of your own home.
Brian's getting his mind blown by these fucking live, laugh, love, whatever fucking art pieces in bathrooms are fucking blowing his mind. This guy is so fucking... Being rich and privileged is kind of a bit of a bit of a prison in itself, isn't it? It's almost like the golden handcuff thing. You probably have to go out of your way to surround yourself with like normal people, well-adjusted people. Not even forget the whole blue collar thing as well, because that's a little bit of that also feels a little bit nasty, right? The fact that they're putting like working class people on a pedestal is a bit strange, right? It's almost like it's fetishizing people. It's odd. But just some regular well-adjusted people, grounded people is important, because these guys are clearly showing you that if you surround yourself with like literal dreamers all the time, your mind gets blown when you walk into a bathroom and they have this throwaway phrase about family and importance of it and shit, and all of a sudden you're crying while you're pissing over someone's carpet. It's odd.
And it sounds like a cliche thing, true, but it's fucking true when you have kids. That's all. Let's take a little break.
Can we take a break?
This Thursday, if you guys want to laugh and you want to get privy to some great stuff and might have some very special guests, we're talking about...
I love this little thing they're doing as well with their residency that isn't a residency at the Vulcan, right? Which I think is taking place today or tomorrow if I'm recording this, where they kind of hinting and suggesting very heavily that the special guest might be Joe Rogan because they're in Austin. You know he's not going to perform there, which is really odd because Rogan's their friend. Rogan is allegedly Bryan Callen's best friend, or maybe the other way around. And he's never been on the Fire Kid officially. Yes, he's been on that one episode where he gave Brendan a dressing down, but he's never actually been on their set, sat down on their couch. He's done Schultz. He's done Theo's. No, I don't think he's sat on Theo's show. Who else has done it? He's done Mike Tyson's show, but he's never sat down and did their show ever, which is really strange. He's only done their show once. And he doesn't really pop up to do their stand-up shows either. So this whole suggesting that Joe Rogan's going to turn up to sell tickets is really gross. Really yucky. I'm not going to lie. Kind of yucky.
Fighter and Kid is live in Austin at the Vulcan Gas Company, 10 o'clock.
One night only. One show only,
dude.
buddy.
One show only. So come get some.
I mean, and also like these, you know, age basically 1 to 14, you're never getting that back. Can I do stand up to can I do every weekend? 100%.
Why don't you do it then? This has probably been one of the interesting insights into this whole Brendan quitting thing, is that I think we all knew this anyway, but he doesn't really like stand up like that. He's not really a stand-up comic. He was just doing it because it was making money, and obviously it was a chance. Some people are suggesting that he was doing it because he wanted to cheat on his wife to kind of run around the town, run around the country, banging fucking bartenders and fans and stuff, right? That might be one of the reasons. But it's clear that he's not really a stand-up comedian, because if he was, you could still say, hey, I'm not going to do like shows outside of my state, but I'm still going to do local shows and do spots. You can still do that because you have a podcast where you work like what? At most 10 hours a week. You could easily do spots in an evening, even after you've brought your kids back from school and shit. You could easily go and perform and do kind of 10 minutes here, whatever it may be, sharpen yourself up and stuff, and just, you know, tighten up your material, maybe test out some new shit and keep it moving. That's what most stand-up do anyway. But the fact that he doesn't want to do that is proof that if it doesn't make money, I'm not going to do stand-up. Like, if he can't sell out places, he's not willing just to go and do regular random things, just pop in at a club, do a spot and come back. No, he has to make money, which is interesting to see, because I remember there was posts or there was clips from before where he'd kind of speak like he was a stand-up. Oh yeah, I want to do sets and reps, you know, get my make people at the back of the room laugh because they're all my friends, all this sort of stuff that Rogan said, just repeat it. But you're seeing now when the ticket sales slow up, he kind of quit comedy super fast. As soon as the ticket sales stopped, he just went, nah, I'm not doing it anymore. It's not worth it. It's like, yeah, but I thought you wanted to be a stand-up, mate. This is part of the process, no? Anyway.
But I'm missing games. I'm missing, you know, and I'm coaching as well.
Yeah, I fucked.
By the way, he's not coaching. He's just coaching his kid. That's the funny thing about it. There are people who do stand-up now, right, who are like open micers, who have a full-time job, who have kids they're looking after, legitimately, no nannies. And they're also coaching Little League on the side, actually coaching a Little League team, right? And they still have the ability to do, you know, little sets here and there during the week at a comedy club. Is it maybe not the best use of time if you've got a young family? Yeah, fair enough. But you can balance it if you need to, if you can. You can make the time if you want to. But if you love something, you can easily kind of, you know, kind of negotiate with the family, blah, blah, blah. You can easily get it done. But the fact that he doesn't want to do it, or he's using his kids as his excuse, is hilarious, man. Hilarious.
Not worth it.
I fucked up.
I would.
Well,
no,
I'm
true.
trying to make it right, but you know, for the first, my daughter is the one who took all the shit. My daughter was 15 now. You know, I was gone. I was always on the road. I was trying to make my name, and I did real well.
There's nothing wrong with this, by the way. Let's just say this. There's nothing wrong with these guys coming to this conclusion. It's cool, but it's just funny because it's not. They only come to this conclusion because they're just not selling tickets. If both of these guys were selling tickets and they were touring the world and the demand was there, they wouldn't be having these come to Jesus, you know, fucking breakthroughs of like how important it is to support your family and be there for your family, because they're, you know, they're on the pursuit to become more and more famous. We already see that with Bert and Tom and shit. The family doesn't matter because you're just cashing in and collecting the bags. Fair enough. But now that they're not selling tickets, all of a sudden they're pontificating about the importance of family. It's like, come on, bro. Your family were always there. You purposely ignore that or put that to one side. It wasn't a priority because you're making the money. Fair enough. That's what you should do, especially when you've got a short window to kind of, you know, a small window, sorry, to kind of, you know, take advantage. But now you're not selling tickets. It's like, now all of a sudden your family matter? Really?
I made lots of money and all that shit, and
none of that matters.
I was on a TV show.
None of that matters. I'm telling you, none of it matters. Your kids don't give a fuck.
I'm telling you. I love how Brendan's trying to lecture Brian about it because he's not selling tickets. Now all of a sudden, this is brilliant. This is fucking brilliant. This cope is amazing. This cope is amazing.
Of course it doesn't.
What they care about?
How much did I miss? I missed all my kids'
when you're on the
birthdays.
road and you missed the birthday.
I missed everything.
Okay.
I missed her birthday.
These guys never cared about birthdays before. Now all of a sudden the birthdays are important. Now it's fucking birthday hype. Right? Now it's the whole birthday hype thing. Now they're a beast of a dad. Beasts of dads that were never around before. Like, honestly, that clip is still ingrained in my head. That whole post on the Reddit of Brendan being on the road and refusing to fly back and, you know, be by the side of his wife while she goes and deals with the fucking I forgot the name of it, but whatever. That she had a not successful pregnancy, and she posts pictures of herself in hospital, literally by himself, and he's in a jacuzzi with the lads on tour and shit, having a blast. Like these guys never really, which is okay. It's fine. I guess in that industry you need to do that to to compete with people and shit and to get to the bag. But hey, let's not lie to ourselves.
Mr. fucking, everything. And I'll never live it down. But I'll make it right.
You can make it right being present now.
Yep.
Like being gone all the time ain't the move. And I'll never forget when I
I'll never remember. I'll never forget. One more time, sorry. That was good. I'll never remember. I'll never forget.
You're right, being present now.
Yep.
Like being gone all the time ain't the move. And I'll never forget when I first started doing stand-up at Kevin Nealon, we're at the airport. And he goes, "Oh, where you at?" And I'm telling him, I'm like, "Yeah, next week I'm in Oklahoma, and the week after that I'm in Palm Beach." And he goes, "You have kids?" And he goes, man, the disappointment on his face.
Yeah.
He was like,
that was a time when Brendan was really letting his nuts hang, right? Someone asked him where he's at, and he would list his shows like he was on the podcast. That's like a passing conversation usually, right? People are just having some banter at the airport, some little small talk. But Brendan sees the opportunity to list all his shows and kind of flex on this guy, right? Like, hey, look how much better, look how good I'm doing, and I'm only 2 years in.
"This ain't it, bud."
It's not.
He's like, "This ain't."
And now he's using that same story or scenario to fit his new, the new grift.
But I want to make you two feel a little better. Like my dad is a normal guy, normal Joe Schmo, owns his own business, right?
Bit of an oxymoron, that, right? Normal guy owns his own business. Regular guy, massive warehouse, over 100 employees, industry leading products and services. Yeah. Regular guy, just a regular guy. I love it. Regular guy. Okay, cool.
When I grew up, my dad worked 6-7 days a week.
Yes.
I didn't see my dad often.
Yeah.
Okay. So please, like,
Your dad didn't have a choice.
Yo, your dad didn't have a choice. That sounds a bit insulting, no? Your dad didn't have a choice. It's like, what? He's working the salt mines or something. Like, what? Go on with that.
I didn't have a choice, right?
We have
Because
a
he had
choice.
to provide for
We
all
have a
of us.
choice.
Yeah.
But did
We're rich. We're rich, babe. We are rich. These guys don't like getting spoken back to, do they? I don't think. I think this lady is overestimating her role in this show. You're meant to share some news you found on TMZ and keep it moving, but I don't really think they want that kind of input from you because Jesus Christ, your dad had to. We don't have to.
you?
Yes.
You're trying
I
to
didn't.
provide for your
In a
family.
way, you're right. We didn't, Bubba.
You're
We didn't.
providing for
in a
your
way. In a
family.
way, this is a motherfucker. This gig. Let's be honest. You want to compete, you got to keep writing. You got to come up with ideas.
This is actually quite interesting, right? They're both saying they didn't need to do stand-up to make money. Which is interesting because it makes you think that they were obviously doing it in the beginning kind of for the love. Because it's just enjoyable as an art form to do. Entertain, at night, going to clubs and shit, telling jokes to drunk people. Probably fun. Hanging out with other comedians, busting joke and shit in the green room. Maybe smashing a couple of bartenders at the back, having unlimited drinks, chilling, eating burgers and shit. It's fun. I can understand that. But it's funny now, all of a sudden, that the tickets aren't selling as frequently as they were. All of that allure is gone now. Now it's not as fun anymore. It's still the same thing, but the tickets aren't as plentiful as they were before. The sales aren't plentiful. Now all of a sudden things have changed. What's changed though, really? Exactly, the ticket sales. So even though they're saying they're not doing it for the money, they kind of were doing it for the money. Because it's nice. Why not? If you're already, that's the thing with these guys, and I don't blame them. You're making good money in a podcast, fair enough. But if you can top it up by making more, why not? Why not? If you can make more money on your podcast, why not make more money? So if you can make more money on top of what you already make through your podcast, why not make it anyway? And the fact that they're choosing not to try to pursue it is proof that, it didn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out.
Let's be honest.
It's just a hustle, but
It's a hustle. And it's okay.
At some point, but yeah, you gotta, there's a balance. You can find the balance, but
There's a balance.
I don't think there's much of a balance to find, really. When you're trying to achieve your dreams, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. And it's okay to sacrifice time spent with your family, because the end goal is still that you are trying to support your family. Yes, you're not gonna be there for all the important moments, which are heartbreaking, and maybe it might affect your relationship with your kids, especially early on. Maybe it might affect it later on, but you're kind of comforted in the knowledge, or you comfort yourself in the knowledge that you're supporting your family. You're allowing them to live a certain, standard of life, or have a certain standard of lifestyle because of what you do with your hard work. So these guys now trying to kind of retcon it is a bit strange. Big up Stinger Goo.
How did TFATK go?
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Big up Stinger Goo. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, true. They were doing TFATK live, innit? Actually, yeah, I'll check that out later, actually. I would like to know how that actually went. I would love to know how that actually went. Big up Stinger Goo. Appreciate you.
In order to get where you're going, that there's no balance. If you want to,
okay, at least Brendan's saying it. There is no balance.
At Madison Square Garden, if you want to sell at the Forum, there's no balance. So if getting to Madison Square Garden, doing the Forum, and selling out every show is the goal, that's fine, and I do your thing. But as far as it's impossible, it doesn't exist. There's no way to do that and be a full-time dad.
So basically, Brendan's calling all of his friends and his peers bad dads. And he's only quit comedy when? A month ago. Now all of a sudden he's an expert of like dads. He's like the best dad. He's the beast of a dad. He's only quit the other day. Now all of a sudden he's calling all of his comedic peers not great dads because they're on the road pursuing their dream. Like what?
It's impossible.
I had somebody I really respect who is made all the money, but also a real family man and has true balance in their lives.
I love how he always mentions these topics, these stories, and he doesn't name who the person is. I always feel like he's lying, but then I don't know if he is. Bryan does this a lot. I was talking to this guy, he makes a lot of money. Like really?
I was talking.
Or were you watching a podcast? Like he just he'll mention these like he won't ever like say who the person's name is or what they do, just like as if they're like some secret service, like as if they work maybe they do work for the CIA, who knows.
To him about how sometimes I feel in this town like a failure.
And you should. It's perfectly fine. You should feel like a failure. But he has extenuating circumstances, right? Because that rape allegation shit did really knock his career down to the ground where it's never going to come back up again. Because Bryan was always somebody who was kind of what's that thing called? He was an underachiever, right? He underachieved for his potential or for his amount of time he's been around. And then he suddenly was starting to get a bit of like life back, right? He was suddenly becoming back in, right? Getting his, something was happening. He was on that fucking show. He was the cameo in Joker. Things were suddenly working for him again. And then boom, the allegation fucking came out of the blue. The rape allegations and the sexual assault stuff. And it basically kind of knocked him back to square one. And with his age and shit, it's just impossible to see that ever coming back around, really, And he's not that talented where people would kind of look past those allegations. I think that there is a little bit of there is a element of counterculture that's a little bit unfair in that regard, in that the people who are supremely talented, even if they do really horrible things, they can get away with it because, the talent is just too crazy and people just can't deny it. And studios and production companies are like, hey, enough time has passed, let's move on. But with Bryan, it's like, you're not that good of an actor. You're all right, comedian. We could do without you kind of thing. And the industry kind of moved on. Big up God's Node.
You were born a street rat, you will die a street rat, and only your fleas will mourn you. Aladdin, SCHAUB.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, bro. That is brutal, God's Node. That is fucking brutal. You were born a street rat, you will die a street rat. Only you and your fleas will warn you. That is fucking brutal. That is very... I don't know about that one. That's really mean. You know what's funny? I was reading a post on the Fire the Kids subreddit where somebody was saying they legitimately, they want Brendan and they basically want Brendan to get to a level where he's working a regular 9-to-5 job. They want him to be like there are people out there that actually are preying on this man's downfall. Like they hate you to that level. I just think he says loads of really dumb shit, right? That makes me laugh, that frustrates me and shit. But I don't sit here wanting him to fucking have to work at fucking Target or some shit. Like some people out there actually hate the guy to that level. I was surprised to see. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know there were people out there that are actually rooting for this guy to fail. But sometimes it's hard not to see their perspective when you hear some of the shit he says. But I'm not going that far. I don't think he's that bad really to elicit that kind of response. But yeah, those people do exist out there that really want Brendan to be like, humbled. It's really grim. I read it, I was like, wow. I'm not all the way that way. I still laugh at this stuff. It's still funny to me, but
I have friends that are uber successful. And I have trouble sometimes with it because I'm a certain age and, it's been a tough 3.5 years or whatever, but I'm also really blessed and lucky. But I was thinking about it and he said, what are you talking about with success? I go, I want to sell such and such.
Let's be honest. Has the allegations against Bryan Callen, the rape and the sexual assault allegation, hurt him? Yes. In terms of the mainstream Hollywood thing. But if he wants to sell out and become like a theatre comic, he can still do that. He just has to focus on the work. Let's be real. Like, he's never going to be on SNL anytime soon. Fair. But if he wants to sell out and be a big time comic, he can still do that. Stand-up comedy is sort of like, people don't really seem to care too much about that, especially your fans and stuff. So maybe deep down, he still wants to be a comedic actor. That's probably the truth of it, right? If you're a fan of The Fight and the Kid, you would know, and myself, I think I'm somebody that kind of knows this, that Bryan's never really loved stand-up like that. I think he's one of those type of dudes who maybe took to it. He took to it easily. It came to him easily, to do stand-up because he's just a naturally funny, charismatic dude. But I don't think he actually loved it. He's always wanted to be an actor. And the fact that that's now gone, that probably still something that kind of eats away at him. Fair, I understand that was your dream, cool. But I don't know, man. You're 60, innit? Get over it, bro. Like, I don't know. It didn't work out. Okay, maybe the allegations are true, maybe they're not true. But you're still able to do comedy and you've got a podcast that still makes money. It's not that bad, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe change your friends. I don't know. It's not that deep. You know what I mean? It's not really that deep, really. But, maybe I'm also being a bit insensitive because he worked for this career all his life and now it's been taken away from him because of something that he never did. I get it, but you have to accept reality and try to either change it to your liking or try and, move with it or make the best of it. I don't know.
Tickets and all that. And I wanted to, and he said, I'm just going to tell you that you could ruin your kids' lives and children's lives are ruined by
sexually assaulting them, allegedly.
Parent achieves every metric of success they've set for themselves. So you could hit every metric that you set for yourself to be successful and ruin your kids' lives just by the nature of being that busy, that rich, that successful.
That's the thing. What's it worth to you?
Well, look, Chris DiStefano and Bert Kreischer were crying on a podcast, and I even text Chris. I was like, "This is beautiful," because Chris
DiStefano switched his ways, though.
I know.
He's the one who called me. He's not on social media anymore. Someone runs it. He's doing less road gigs.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm cutting back, man. I have to be there for my family.
You could see it. He was crying.
Bert cried and just does his thing, but that's Bert. And his kids are older now. They're in college.
Yes.
But Bert will tell you, he fucked up.
Yeah.
He missed a ton of stuff.
I don't know about talking about another man and how they raise their kids and if they're fucked up or not. I don't know if that's the most, tactful, tasteful thing to do. But I don't know, man. I just found this stuff so patronizing and so fake and so full of shit, because they're only talking like this because they're not selling tickets. And it's really unfortunate, because this is probably they're probably making a lot of good points here, but it's hard to look past how much full of shit they both are, because if they were selling tickets and they were touring the country and they were touring the world, they would not have this perspective. They would not be sitting here pontificating about the importance of family. That's the really sad thing about it, because what they're saying, there's a lot of truth to what they're saying. Yes, it's important to have balance. Yes, it's important to be there for your kids. I personally think it's actually quite despicable that a lot of these guys make so much money podcasting and they purposely choose to be away from their family on the road so much doing stand-up. They could legitimately craft a career for themselves, a tour schedule for themselves that makes sure that they spend the least amount of time away from their family as possible and still touch the fans if they want, but they choose not to. That's the funny thing. Some of these guys tour like they're struggling when they're not, and they don't need to. That's the thing that's really kind of grim about it. So there's an interesting conversation to be had about that sort of stuff, but you can't really take these guys too seriously because they quote unquote failed, and now they're trying to justify their failure by saying that they never really wanted it anyway. They always wanted their family. It's like, no, you tried. It didn't work out for you, fair. But let's not try to now denigrate other people who are doing the same thing that you would love to do. Because if Brendan could tour like Bert, he would do it. If there was a demand for Brendan to tour the way Bert does, or the way Tom does, he would do it in a heartbeat. But there isn't. So now he's, fucking dad of the year. It's like, come on.
Bert's one of the greatest people in the world, but it comes with it. It's a heavy price to pay.
Bert's a shit dad. How you say this about your friends? He's basically calling Joe Rogan, Bert, Tom. He's basically calling all these people that he's friends shit dads. It's lovely. I love this sort of stuff.
And I'm not saying that, for me, it's not worth it. So some guys like, no, it's worth it, man, because then I can send my kid to this school. That's all good. But like my boy, Leister Bowling, great dad.
So he doesn't care about stand-up then. I love that he's not talking about the art form or not trying to be funny. What happened to wanting to be funny? What happened to wanting to be on SNL and shit? Like, you don't want that anymore. That dream is completely gone. Now you want your kids to become MLB stars so you can retire on their fucking salary. That makes sense.
He's been coaching. He's his kid's coach. His kid got a full ride to Iowa for wrestling.
What?
I text him. I went,
Damn.
oh, you made it, dude. There's no greater achievement in life.
That's such a big deal.
Like if Leister went to Iowa and got a scholarship, that's cool. That's you doing your thing. To raise your son, he got a full ride. That'd be like getting a football scholarship to Alabama. Dude, I went, oh, dude, he's
a Hawkeye?
Yeah, full ride.
Shit.
Little Leister's a Hawkeye.
What?
I didn't tell you this?
I don't think people realize.
No,
but I don't think people realize what that is. That's the.
Now we come to like the jock segment of the show, right? Like, okay, cool. Come on, tell us.
Like that is so difficult. That is like I went to Dan Gable's camp and I was like, oh, this is what D1 wrestling is. Oh, no thanks. That if you can push yourself through that Hawkeye program, you can do anything. You can do anything.
But yeah, he got a full ride.
It's crazy.
A full ride.
Full ride. Full scholarship.
Getting a Division I full ride is hard enough as is, but getting it to Iowa?
Yeah, it's a whole.
And then think about Little Leister.
It's funny because she actually knows more about football than both of those guys put together, but the way they're looking at her. I think she has a podcast and she talks about football and stuff. I saw someone said it on Reddit, but it's just funny how they looked at her.
His Leister Bowling, my coach, and then his dad wrestled at I forget what is a JUCO college, same as Ben Henderson, somewhere in Nebraska.
Anyway, you know the gist. You get the gist what's happening there. They're both coping about their careers. It's sad to see because there is an interesting conversation to be had for what they're talking about, but it's just hard to take these two guys seriously because they failed. In Bryan's case, failed because of maybe some false true allegations, who knows. Brendan's case failed because, he just isn't a draw. Simple as that. No, and maybe the thing about Brendan that's actually interesting is that the worst thing to happen to Brendan's stand-up career was putting his content online. I'm not gonna lie. I think if Brendan, because in the early days, he refused to put clips up online. He didn't want to because he was afraid of the blowback he'd get from people and stuff, right? And the trolls and the haters and the comments. Then something changed. I think Schultz doing all these bits online and getting loads of views. The raging narcissist and Brendan just couldn't not want to tap into those views and stuff and get that acknowledgement. But I think the moment he put his special online and it was available to consume online and stuff, it's like, that's when it was the beginning of the end of his stand-up career, because people would see, rah, this guy's really bad, like really, really bad, and he wasn't getting any better as well, so there was no need to see him anymore. So I think that probably was what damaged his reputation and probably damaged his, ability to sell tickets, probably continuing on, especially if you've seen him on road and you're seeing him do particular fucking bits that you already seen before and it's not changing. You're like, ugh. So maybe that's the whole thing. But in general, he did well out of it. He made a bunch of money. He got a bunch of clout, got famous, followers went up. I think it's a good thing. Like, I don't know. So I don't see it that bad really, but the cope is what's making it worse, in my opinion. But that's those guys coping and trying to make it work, coping and trying to make it work. Talking about TFATK Live, look at this post courtesy of Fire the Kid Reddit. Pretty sad. Look at that. Less than 12 hours to go until their show, and they couldn't even sell half of a small venue out. That is bleak, isn't it? I'm still somebody that I can't understand. Like, I swear to God, maybe I'm an idiot. So I'm assuming all the seats in grey are the ones that are sold, right? The seats in grey. All those in grey are sold, and the ones in blue and red haven't been sold. I'm still surprised. Maybe I'm an idiot. I'm legitimately surprised that they can't sell tickets like this, especially for TFATK Live, which is basically a live podcast or a stand-up show that features BRYAN and Brendan. I'm legitimately surprised that two of their fan bases can't sell out a room their size. I swear to God. I honestly am shocked. I don't know if it's to do with their level of fame, maybe because they faked their engagement in the beginning, but it's surprising to me that they legitimately can't, two fan bases put together, sell out a venue like this. And the Vulcan, what's the capacity of the Vulcan? Let's see. Actually, I'm curious to see actually. Vulcan Comedy Club capacity. What is it? Damn. To be fair, that's quite a lot of tickets, isn't it? To be fair. Nearly 700 tickets is a lot of tickets. I'm not going to lie. So maybe it's not that surprising that they couldn't sell it. 658 capacity at the Vulcan. That's a lot, isn't it? But still, if you're two comics of that level with Rogan sort of following, you'd imagine you should be able to sell. You would think together they could sell 1,000 tickets. The fact that they can't even sell, 300 is really concerning. But I would assume, like most comedy clubs, they're probably just going to they're probably going to paper the room, right? I think that's what most comedy clubs do. When they can't get people to pay for tickets legitimately, they just start handing out free ones just to make sure that there's people in there, especially during the weekend and stuff. They don't want it to make it empty, so they just have like random people in there that have no idea who you are and stuff. So I think that's the term of it, is like papering the room. So most likely they'll just paper the room. It's a weird layout, isn't it? Because they've also got this weird balcony section here. Can you see that? It's a strange layout. It almost looks like a nightclub. Don't you think? It's a strange layout of a fucking comedy club. It kind of looks like a nightclub, innit? Like, it's got this balcony and there's this middle bit here where I think the stage goes, I'm assuming. So you have people sitting behind these barriers. Like, it's weird. It's a strange venue. It really, really is. To be honest, I'm not going to lie. It's a really strange venue for comedy. I think it's a good club, but it's a strange venue to do comedy. Like, imagine you're on a mic and you're having to do this. I think as a DJ, it's quite nice to have people around you moving around like that. It kind of feels like you're in some sort of like early 2000s rave movie. But I think on the mic, it's a strange place to be. Have your neck like cranked up like that. So yeah, there's a booth there. Okay, someone's saying, yeah, KP is a DJ. Okay, cool. Exactly, Assad. Yeah, John Wick nightclub. Yeah, okay. Big up KP for the insight there. They do DJ events and Vulcan and concerts as well. Okay, cool. So it's not just a comedy club; it's a venue for all things. Yeah, I quite like it. Oh, look, there's a bar up there too. There's a bar in the back there on the balcony. There's areas here where you can put, I think, seats and shit. And then here's the main floor where you can obviously have the, you know, the stage and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, they've done the Kill Tony at the Vulcan as well. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So let's see what happens. Again, just I'm legit. I don't know about you guys, but I'm honestly shocked that they couldn't sell at least half of the tickets easily, especially considering that they haven't done a live show together in years, and the fact that they can't do it, right? Like they haven't done a live show in years, and the fact that they can't sell out so many tickets is probably it's probably an indicator of where they are level-wise in comedy. It's pretty sad, I'm not going to lie. It is pretty sad. But hey, what can you do? What can you do? Moving on. We got this clip. What's this? Residency, right? Residency. The word of 2024. This is good, isn't it? Residency. I love it. This has become the new word. I guess people are now suggesting that this has become the new hot word for Brendan because Rogan said it to Joey Diaz on the episode of The Fight Companion when he basically offered Joey Diaz a residency at the mothership, and now Brendan's using it but not actually using it in the correct term. He doesn't probably know what residency means. I guess for a DJ, a residency would mean that you perform at a club like more than once per month, or like 1 month plus, you know, once per month plus whatever, you know, a term, right? But basically once a month, that'll be a residency. But there's different residencies, there's bi-monthly residencies, it depends. But I guess in the comedy club world, a residency would be like somebody performing at Las Vegas, where you'd get a residency for like a particular, you know, amount of weeks, and you perform every weekend. That's basically what it'll be. But I guess for, you know, I guess he's doing it in his head, a one-off show is a residency, which is not a real residency. But anyway, let's play anyway.
Well, his fan base is so he's massive.
Yes,
even
but,
with this
but a
stuff.
lot of people that own the venues, a lot of people that own the venues, own the theaters,
are Jewish.
Yeah.
Or they're not Jewish and they just don't subscribe to them.
yeah,
They're like, hell no.
They just don't get down.
But he'll find, I bet you he finds a place, does a residency, and he's just there.
Oh, he actually says residency. I didn't even know that. I didn't say, oh, he actually says residency. Wow. Okay, I thought they were fucking around.
Just don't get down.
But he'll find, I bet you he finds a place, does a residency, and he's just there.
How can you not able, honestly, like, the world isn't really fair, in it. This guy was a multi-millionaire at one point. Residency. One more time.
Place does a residency, and he's just there like, place does a residency, place does a residency, place does a residency, and place does a residency.
It's almost like he's saying red and sea, right? Like it's surf and turf restaurant, Red and Sea, right? Like that would be actually a good name for restaurant, isn't it? Right? You do surf and turf. We are Red and Sea, the home of surf and turf. Red and Sea, right? Look.
Does a residency, and he's just there like once a month. Does a residency, and he's just there. The place does a residency, and he's just there like once a month.
He
or
can
once
go to
every 2
parts
weeks.
of the world and
The parts of America, easy. He
Not the world, be America.
and
the parts of America, easy. He performed with Travis Scott in Italy and surprised him, and it measured on the fucking earthquake scale. They went
Earthquake scale? You mean Richter scale? Holy shit! Earthquake scale? What? Earthquake scale? That's adorable if like a kid says it to you, right? Earthquake scale? You mean Richter scale?
and surprised him, and it measured on the fucking earthquake scale.
You mean the Richter scale? A scale of measurement? Oh, that is brilliant. One more time. Oh, residency?
the venues, own the theaters.
Are Jewish.
Yeah.
Or they're not Jewish and they just don't subscribe to them.
yeah,
They're like,
they just-
hell no.
They just don't get down.
But he'll find, I bet you he finds a place, does a residency, and he's just there like once a month
He
or
can
once
go to
every 2
parts
weeks.
of the world and
The parts of America, easy. He performed with Travis Scott in Italy and surprised him, and it measured on the fucking earthquake scale. They went.
Oh, I love this guy, man. Honestly, I want him to. I don't want this guy to get a full-time job. I swear to God, I want him to keep doing content. I want the rare people out there who cover Brendan who don't want him to fucking, be signing on and shit. You know what I mean? I don't want him homeless. I want him to keep making content because he makes me laugh so much, man. Unironically, I swear to God. Residency? What? What's a residency? Oh my God, bro. Residency. Cool. Great guy. Never met him. Anyway, let's continue. Bapa is Stavi's North Star. Let's see this clip. Courtesy of the Fire and the Kids subreddit. Let's see what this one's saying. Bapa is Stavi's North Star. Let's see what Stavi's saying here. Bit of Stavi crowd work. Let's see what he's saying.
What's wrong with you? What are you eating? What's your little slutty treat? Huh? What was that? Gyro? Is that? Are you? Yeah, I know. You didn't have to fucking. I'm honestly a little offended that you. You know what that's like? Are you Greek? Huh? Oh, he is Greek. Okay, all right. Because if you're just some regular guy, that's like when you go to a Mexican restaurant and your dad's like, we'll have the fajita.
Comedy. You see what it is to be funny? It's the same fucking joke that Brendan did, but it's funnier because he's fucking funny. You see how easy it is when you're funny? You can say shitty, hacky jokes, but if you say it in a funny way and you're a funny guy, it's funny. Bingo. It's funny because it's funny.
I thought some fucking Philly trash was trying to give me the real Greek pronunciation. All right.
That was good, right? Because he wanted to say, hey, if you're not Greek, obviously he's going to lay into him. He was Greek and he still went for the joke and it still landed. And because we rarely hear good crowd work, let's replay it.
What's going on with you? What are you eating? What's your little slutty treat? Huh? What was that? Gyro? Is that? Are you? Yeah, I know. You didn't have to fucking. I'm honestly a little offended that you. You know what that's like? Are you Greek? Huh? Oh, he is Greek. Okay, all right. Because if you're just some regular guy, that's like when you go to a Mexican restaurant and your dad's like, we'll have the fajita. I thought some fucking Philly trash was trying to give me the real Greek pronunciation. All right.
Yes, big up Stavi. I love you. Big up Stavi. That's actually what a fucking real comic fucking sounds like. Okay, it's not that hard. Still hacky, but it's not that hard. Big up Dark Web J. Dark Web J does not agree with me. Nah, AZ, you're dick eating. Respectfully, bro. The bar is very low, my friend. The bar is very low because most comedians are fucking terrible. Forgive me for laughing at somebody for putting together a seemingly funny sequence of words. Forgive me. Forgive me for laughing at somebody who's at least attempting to be funny. Forgive me for somebody who's at least attempting to be self-deprecating. Forgive me for laughing at somebody who's not treating their fans and their viewers and their attendees of their shows like shit during crowd work. Who's having some fun with it and actually being playful and not acting like his fans are beneath them. You know, I know it's not. Is it the most brain-busting, mind-blowing joke in the world? No. But honestly, considering the stuff that we watched on this show together on this live stream, let's be real. That was pretty good. Let's be real. I know maybe I'm over dick eating. Maybe I'm glazing his Greek knob too much. I understand it. Maybe I'm fucking backing my little rumper back into him too much. I understand it. Maybe I'm fucking grinding on his cocky too much. I get it. But let's be real. Considering the shit that we watch on this stream, this is good. Let's be fair. I know I'm fucking two-handed glazing him right now. But considering what we watch on this stream, This is perfect. This is way better than the stuff that we see. Come on. Be fair to me. Be fair to me. Be fair. Okay? I know I'm glazing. I know I'm spreading my cheeks open like fucking Freddie Gibbs for him. But let's be fair. That was good. That was good. But I understand if you don't like it. I get it. But big up Stavy. Big up Stavy. Next. Anthony Jeselnik tells a story about Brendan giving him advice. This might be the reason why some people out there, not me, because I like him and I don't want him to fail because I love his fucking, unironic fucking humor and how he mispronounces stuff, with Brendan. But this might be the reason why some people want Brendan to fail really badly. Because there was a point in Brendan's career where he was so hot, where he was so on, he was flipping like a rocket ship, right? Like literally going off, that he felt so confident that he would go up to people like Anthony Jeselnik, who's known to be a bit of a cunt anyway. Forget how funny he is, how much of a legend he is and whatever. He's known to be a bit of a, little bit standoffish himself. But there was a point where Brendan was so on fire that he felt it would be a good idea to go and give Anthony Jeselnik advice on his career and podcasting and shit. Wild, right? To even do this, right? To have that kind of fucking neck, to have that kind of guts, that kind of ego is insane. But let's play the clip anyway. Let's play the clip.
You don't care if people don't like you. You've just never cared.
I try to do things, and if I'm going to be mean, I try to do it in a very concise way that it's like, you kind of have to laugh and respect it, but I'm not, I've said some like really mean stuff, but it's like, I've got to give you some rope, There was a comic who just kept giving me advice. This is like a couple months ago. Just kept being like, oh, you should do this as a podcast, you should do this. And I'm like, trying to be polite for as long as I can. And finally, I'm like, if I need any more career advice, I'll let you know. And the room laughed, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry." And everyone was like, "That was really funny." I'm like, I wasn't trying to be mean, but he like didn't give me any choice.
Yeah.
I saw him and Anthony Jeselnik talk before a show one time in the green room, and he had referenced a time before when he was like trying to like give Anthony Jeselnik advice, and it was in front of other people, and he kind of framed it as like, "Oh yeah, Anthony snapped at me," but I'm like, "Well, yeah, you were trying to like, he's one of the greatest living comics." You know what I mean? Like his specials crush, and he's also like, he's kind of got this mystique where like, he doesn't even need to use Instagram or social media. It's just like, like when Anthony Jeselnik drops a special, like I'm watching it, and I've seen him perform enough times where like, you obviously know it's like, he's all about comedy and doesn't give a fuck. And, Brendan tried to say, he's like, oh yeah, well you should try to like this. And like, he was kind of giving him like, cause Brendan in his mind is like, oh, well I'm like a business and marketing guy, so I'm trying to give Anthony Jeselnik advice. But he made it seem like he's like, Anthony's talking this way. And it's kind of like, hey Brendan, I think I got it. Like he like gives him like, he says that and like winks at him. I'm like, that was Anthony Jeselnik's way of being like, hey, you fucking idiot. Don't ever talk to me about anything relating to my career.
Can you imagine the scene of Brendan trying to give Anthony Jeselnik career advice? And to be fair, I don't think Brendan was trying to give him advice on jokes and shit. I think Brendan does this thing where like, he tries to give people advice so that he can act like he can take credit if they become a success. Like he does this a lot with podcast guests, right? He talks about how somehow he makes it seem like he was the person that was responsible in part for Jelly Roll's success because they had him on the podcast. I don't know, it's strange. He has this weird thing about taking credit for things that you don't really should take credit for. Big up NJ Ranger, appreciate it, brother.
He is the waiter at Ching's and JESELNIK is Bapa.
Exactly. Exactly. That fucking waiter at Chang story is hilarious, isn't it? Just give me the fucking orange chicken. Talk to me about my fucking jab. Even though Brendan probably did need some advice. He should probably, considering his striking was one of his worst parts of his fighting, he probably should have listened to the advice. But, I get it, right? Lost a fight and you're going to eat some PF Chang. The last thing you want to hear is from a waiter trying to give you, striking advice. But I think most likely Brendan wasn't trying to give him like advice on how to write jokes, but he was just trying to. Oh, let me do it one more time. Good, God's note, appreciate it, brother.
I was quoting the movie Aladdin. And it was from SCHAUB's perspective. I am God's note, I come in peace.
Yeah, I know. I know you were, brother. I saw you at the end. I get it. But it was just mean. It was just fucking, it was very mean. It was fucking very, very mean. So don't try to say you come in peace now. You already made it clear that you want Brendan to fail. You already made it clear that you want Brendan's kids to be ripped out of that private school. You want him to be thrown into some school in fucking in Watts or somewhere, right? You want him to be in the slums. You made it very clear that you want Brendan's wife to have to resort to going on OnlyFans to make money. You've made it very clear that you want Brendan to have to get to a level where he has to only have one car. Right? That's how deep that you want him to fail. So don't try and walk it back now, God's node. We know what you said. You quoted Aladdin, and you made it very clear. We know what you said. You can't walk that back now. You know, Aladdin is always negative, and you quoted it. Like, we know what you said. But anyway, big up you. Like I was saying, I think Brendan was trying to create a scenario where he could act like he gave Anthony Jeselnik advice on podcasting and shit, because he's not somebody that's super big on podcasting and doing content online like that anyway. I know he's got his own podcast, but he doesn't really do it to a level that everyone else does it. So I guess Brendan was trying to act like he was Anthony Jeselnik's Rogan, you know, in a kind of way. And obviously he's like, hold on, like, I do this the way I'm doing it, obviously by choice, and also no, not from you, you know, because yeah, some people just can't give you advice. But I thought that was fucking incredible. And it's great to put those clips together, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, some people probably wouldn't have believed BGL without the clip of Jeselnik saying what he said there, because I think this is an old episode of Trash Tuesday. So I think so anyway, if I'm not mistaken, because he said 2 months ago or something. So I don't think it's Brendan. So this is an old clip, but it's good that BGL did give some life to it. So, and it also is a bit like interesting, because it shows you the utility of BGL. BGL can be very exhausting, especially if you read him via the Reddit. When he goes on some of his rants, it's a lot, right? There's a lot of run-on sentences. He just goes in on people. He really speaks with a lot of passion. Obviously, you know, I've always said, like, as much as I dislike the way he approached everything, I can understand why he went crazy on Brendan. Like, being around that guy on a daily basis and having to kind of like play second fiddle and act like you're dumber than what you are, and so like it's gonna take its toll on you. So I don't blame him for having a bit of a freak out, but I also think it shows you the utility and the usefulness of BGL, because all these insights, we would never probably be able to get them without him, about, you know, what goes on behind the scenes. Some of us could always read into it and know what's happening, because, you know, these guys are pretty easy to read, but BGL has been a necessary part of this whole Bapaverse drama. Yes, he can be a bit intense. Yes, he's a bit of a psycho, but he's kind of our psycho, you know? Like, he's kind of our psycho. You know, it is what it is. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with him, but I think for the most part, the insights he's given us and the peek behind the curtain has been very insightful. So big up BGL wherever he is. Big up BGL wherever he might be. Big up motherfucking BGL. So, let's play a Bert Kreischer video, because why the fuck not? Actually, you know what? No, let's not play Bert Kreischer. Let's do what all of you guys like to fucking see on this fucking show, even though I absolutely hate it and it legitimately makes me want to peel off my fucking eyes. Let's watch a couple of chin videos. There's a few here that I've got saved from the Friday the Kid Reddit, and a couple I've downloaded. So let's watch a fucking chin vid. Okay, let's do some chin. Okay? So, warning to all of you watching right now. It's going to get very cringe. It's going to get very depressing. It's going to get very sad. It's going to get very dark. And it's going to get very depressing. So if you don't like dark, depressing, cringe shit, I recommend you go onto another stream. Or you check out my other clips or something. Just go somewhere else. Close the laptop, go to sleep, have a wank, you know, tickle your wife, whatever. Because this is going to be horrible. Because Chin is one of the most depressing content creators that's ever graced the content creation world. So let's dive on deep. First one to go through. Clin, as they're calling him. I don't know what the Clin thing comes from, by the way. Who can explain that? What's the Clin law? I don't know. Maybe Brendan misspoke one time and said it Clin instead of Chin. Clin cooks hot dogs in the dark, boring and long. Let's play this clip. Chin cooking hot dogs in the dark.
Just dumped another log on there, so.
Dumped another log on there. Pause.
I'm gonna be eating dinner soon. And, yeah, there's a weird trail here that people can get to me. If you see this video, I'm still alive, but yeah.
What? No. KP is saying Brendan once said, Clin, pull up that chip. So, no way. Did Brendan misspoke one day and said, Clin, pull up that chip instead of Chin, pull up that clip? Oh. Residency and Clin, pull up that chip is amazing. Residency. He just goes. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. One more. Let's go.
So I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I'm so lazy right now. I just want to eat like something quick, so I'm gonna just do a hot dog. I wanted to do this whole like dinner thing with a steak and vegetables and all that stuff, but
Is this normal, by the way? Can people in the stream chat let me know? Is this normal? For you people out there who live next to nice country, nice, woodland areas and shit where you can go camping, is it normal to cook steaks when you go camping? Like to have a steak and vegetables and shit? Is that normal? Is it normal to take like a sirloin or a T-bone and cook it? Like, is that normal to go and eat that while you are camping? Like, I'm in the mood for steak. I don't know, like, I just think of hot dogs, burgers, chips, like normal shit, innit? Like drinks, a steak.
got really lazy.
Like wings or something, hot wings. But I wouldn't think of a steak as a thing that I'd eat if I went camping, Or a sandwich, God forbid, just a regular sandwich. That could also help. I don't know. But steak.
Be really fast, so I'm gonna do a hot dog. Texas Smokehouse. Alright, here we go.
Honestly, that headlamp, I know it's practical, but that headlamp is fucking hilarious, man. Like he's in a mine or something, right? Like he's a miner. Is absolutely incredibly redacted. That headlamp is maybe one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy shit.
Innovation. These must be cooked by now, but if not, I don't know what to say. Put the cheese on top.
Can't you just like pierce them with a fork to double check, or like a matchstick, or like just touch them? Can't you just check if they're cooked? No? Okay. Cool.
Let me see how this tastes real quick.
So you put the cheese slices on top of the sausages while they're grilling. Then you take them off of the heat, leave them on the side to like. Does he not like eating stuff when it's hot? Why is he like just whatever? Let's just not ask too many questions. Okay, it's still pretty hot. Fair enough.
Okay, definitely not raw. Got ketchup. Got mayo.
Another lamp. How many lights does he have? He has a headband. He has this fucking headband thing. He also has a torch in his hand and a lamp on the table.
Got
so
ketchup.
3 lights. free independent light sources. How many lights do you need when you go camping? Like how many beams do you need? Like
got Mayo?
Sure, there's got to be like an environmental hazard to have so many LEDs around. How many LEDs do you need? Maybe I'm being a piece of shit here, but there's nothing I hate more than people who want to cook hot dogs without hot dog bread. If you buy hot dogs, you have to buy hot dog buns. You have to buy hot dog buns. People who don't buy hot dog buns when they buy hot dogs piss me the fuck off. All this equipment he has on the table, nearly probably 10 grand worth of equipment, and no fucking hot dog buns. And then you're using mayonnaise for a fucking glizzy. Mayo. Not mustard, not ketchup, mayo. Sliced cheese on top of it. Not onions or anything. This should be an arrestable offense.
One of these crazy hot dog.
Oh my god. I hate this guy so much. Big up Daniel Alcantara. What did you say here? Oh, you didn't say nothing, but big up Daniel and Alcantara. Appreciate you for the super chat, brother. Thank you. He's not afraid of fucking wrapping his mouth around that glizzy, innit, right? He's fucking not afraid, innit? Look at that. Full throttle, mate. Deep throat in that glizzy. Straight to the back of the fucking throat. That shit is going in. Supreme gab reflex. Look at that. Look at it. Chin is in. In.
It tastes really good, obviously. It's very salty. This is really good.
It wasn't good, was it? It wasn't good. It wasn't good. One more time.
It tastes really good.
That was a fucking hard swallow. It wasn't good.
Obviously. It's very salty. This is really good.
Oh yeah? How good? Jesus Christ. Is there anything more depressing than this? Is there anything more depressing than usually when you go camping and you go out into the great outdoors, right? Into the great unknown, you're meant to sort of like center yourself, being present in the environment you're in, cutting yourself off from all the worldly distractions that are usually distracting you, right? And then here he is in the middle of this lovely forest somewhere with this massive LED beam on his fucking forehead, eating glizzies off of a cutting board on his own. There's probably nothing more depressing than this. He actually leaves his home voluntarily to do this, just to go and sit in the dark somewhere in his tent by himself. We got Theodore.
How many bodies has Clint buried in those woods?
Incredible amount. Incredible. I'd say about 10. Or maybe, yeah, I'd say probably 10. I think he's probably got 10 bodies on him, 100%. He's probably, every time he goes there, he's basically like a real life, you know, like a fucking character from fucking Mindhunter, right? Like a real fucking serial killer. He's perfecting his process every time. Every time he's perfecting it, but he's also getting a little bit more flagrant, right? He's getting a little bit more reckless. He's getting a little bit more cocky. And eventually he'll make a mistake and he'll pay the price. But Jesus Christ, man, this is just depressing.com. Look at him. Look at him. God almighty. But it shouldn't be depressing because he's outdoors. He's in nature. It shouldn't be depressing. But he makes it depressing. Something to nibble on, of course. Always got nibbles. Hates carbs but loves chips. You gotta love the clean in it. You gotta love clean. Hates carbs in bread, right? Scoops out all the innards in fucking bread, right? Literally gives, you know, goes fucking open heart surgery on these fucking pieces of bread, but loves eating chips. You've gotta fucking love him. You gotta fucking love clean. Anyway, another one. This is what a Clin repost. Sorry, long and sad. I love the disclaimers. Big up highlight numeros. Is it that's his name, right? Big up highlight underscore numeros. I love the titles. Clin repost. Sorry, long and sad. I love the warnings they're giving people in the titles. This is gonna be long and sad. Oh, I love it. This is a trigger warning.
I remember everything, but you should hear something different now. So I'm going to be filming with this mic from now on. Also, I don't know if I showed you this earlier. I don't think I did, but this is a brand new USB-C drive. This is just...
Fucking hell, bro. He's just got that lying around in his house. 18 terabyte hard drive. $550. But he doesn't have, like, fucking hot dog buns for his fucking hot dogs. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean about this guy? $550 hard drive for what? Like, of clips of fucking Brendan saying Residency, but he doesn't have fucking hot dog bun bread.
This is just a backup drive. I wanted to get a NAS drive, but I have a certain budget I have to keep within, and it will take me over the budget if I actually get a new iMac for the studio as well. So I just got this. That's a lot of storage. I also have like 3 other drives that I can put.
Even though the listing on the website showed you what the storage had, right? 18 terabytes. He also writes it just, you know, is that a little bit of a is that a bit of a tism thing, by the way? The screenshot of the listing says what it is. It's a G Technology 18 terabyte G drive USB 3.1 blah blah blah. But then he also writes it on the caption. 18 terabytes, like, that's a bit of a tism thing, right? Must be.
A lot of storage. I also have like 3 other drives that I can put, you know, a lot of the episodes in. So I'm good there. This should be good. It should be fast. The read and write speeds are pretty fast on it. I forgot the exact details, but for the rest of the week, I'm going to be putting all our data onto this drive and the other 3 drives we have, even though the other 3 drives are pretty much at their max capacity.
All these drives full of fucking nonsense. If they all blew up tomorrow, no one would care.
I think that's pretty much it for tonight.
The TFATK Library of Alexandria.
I'm just going to watch TV, do some work, find some more current events, and then go to bed. And it's already it's 11:30 p.m. I took a nap, so it's pretty late. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
I took a nap. I took a nap. Fucking hell, man. What a fucking dork. I took a nap. The way he said it.
Find some more current events and then go to bed. And it's already it's 11:30 p.m. I took a nap, so it's pretty late. I'll see you guys. It's 11:30 p.m. I took a nap, so it's pretty late.
Get some milk as well. I took a nap. Have some milk. Like, my mom tucked me in. I took a nap. Mommy, I took a nap. Bruv, you're 50. You're 50. Chin, you're 50 years old, bro. I took a nap.
I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, I think.
I couldn't fall asleep because of my nap. I'm finished. This guy's a fucking loser. He's literally an adult toddler. I couldn't sleep again because I already slept. Oh, Chin, man.
Oh my, it's 3 a.m.
Also, who wears beanies indoors? At home alone? Can someone explain this to me? Who wears a beanie at home just like that when you're by yourself? Is that a thing that people do? Okay.
And I just wanted to say this about Ralph's Sushi.
Oh my god, the polarity of the mic was set to the cardioid here. Cardioid. The polarity of, like, what? Mic polarity. Bro. You're at home showing us fucking pre-packaged, pre-made fucking sushi. It's not that big of a deal, bro. We don't care about your mic polarity. Just make interesting content. Mic polarity. This nigga thinks he's filming a fucking an IMAX movie or something. Like, it's not that deep.
People
Meaning is picking up audio. Yeah, we know what it means, you fucking
say
dork.
Ralph's sushi is like terrible, but you know what? The times I've had it, it's perfectly fine. So here I am saying Ralph's sushi is perfectly good.
I know he's not Japanese, I get it. But being an Asian man and being okay to say this sort of shit is fucking crazy. Being proud of like eating fucking grocery store pre-made sushi and bragging about it like it's any good is legitimately insane. Especially when you're from that part of the world. I know he's not Japanese, I get it, blah blah blah, but still, like, you gotta rep a little bit more for your fucking people, man. Please, man. What is this? Like, you gotta fucking, you know, maintain the fucking purity of actually having it made, actually going to enjoy it in an actual nice restaurant somewhere, sitting down, making a whole fucking day of it. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Leave the pre-made sushi to us people who are not Asian, right? Leave it to us to fucking be like, yeah, this is pretty nice. Look at this paella I bought from fucking Tesco. It actually tastes like the paella that I had in fucking Spain. Leave it to us people, but you can't, as an actual Mediterranean person, like, you know, be okay with saying fucking pre-made tiramisu is just as good as your grandmother's. That is an insult.
We shall try it. People talk smack about Ralph's sushi, but I'm here to say that if you have a sushi fix, and Ralph's is the only place you can go to.
Hold on, how do you say sushi? Sushi.
If you have a sushi fix,
sushi,
and Ralph's is the only place I'm here to say that if you have a sushi fix, and Ralph's is the only place you can go to, and it's cheaper, do it. They're perfectly fine. They're perfectly good. So I chopped off most of the rice here.
Actually, that time I did go to LA, I did go to a Ralph's, and it was quite decent though. I did remember the Ralph's that I went to in Los Angeles when I went years ago. They had a really good fucking pastry section. I remember fucking going crazy on that. Like, I went crazy. I took all that shit back to my hostel, and I fucking, you know, shoved that shit into my fucking face.
Put it on the side here. This is salmon. Look at the salmon. Look at the quality of the salmon.
Nah, this guy. This guy should have his Asian fucking residency, citizenship card, whatever, fucking redacted. Man. What? Look at this guy. This is just as good, man. Good as that stuff I had in fucking Kobayashi.
That's pretty damn good. Wrap it around.
Also, what time is this? This is quite late at night, isn't it? What time is it? Is it like 3 a.m., 4 a.m.? He woke up because he couldn't sleep. And then he went to go to Ralph's to go get pre-made suit. Like, this guy has the eating habits of a literal teenager. Big up to Stigagoo.
Last night was mad real. Woke up now, I need some Advil.
You might need some fucking laxatives, given what fucking Clint's eating here. He woke up. Big up Stigagoo. He woke up after a nap, couldn't sleep, and then decided to jump in his car, go to Ralph's, and bought some sushi. Like, have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. and the first thing you want is sushi? Maybe when you're like 21 or something, and they've got some on clearance, and it's like $1, right? Because it's gonna go off the next day. See, no one takes a nap before bed. I'm taking a nap before I go to bed. What? Anyway.
I'm serious. This is good sushi. Don't worry about what people say about Ralph's sushi.
He can barely open his eyes. I don't know if it's because the sushi has inflamed it or because he's tired, but...
Just try it yourself. Do a taste test. It's not that expensive. It's like $12, $13 for
Spending $13 on Ralph's sushi is a psycho decision. I swear to God, $13. Shit.
a tray or for a package of
You might as well just go to a restaurant
sushi.
in the morning or in the evening.
Just try it. I'm willing to bet that you'll enjoy it. All right, now, good night. Hey, man. Shout out to Josh Wolf.
Fucking hell, bro. I don't want to say what I want to say. I don't want to say what I want to say. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. He's fucking ugly, isn't it? He's fucking ugly, isn't he? Holy shit. He is one unfortunate looking guy, isn't it? Like, fucking hell, man. Like, God damn it, Chin. I'm glad he's growing out his hair. He's got his beard because, fuck, bro.
That's a little reference to him. But anyways, if you're watching up to this far, please subscribe, like, all that stuff. It makes a difference in the whole YouTube thing. I'm sure you heard this a million times from people that are uploading their stuff from YouTube.
What's the
But
point?
this is me. And you guys have shown me that you've been...
Big up Burp.
Get yourself some grocery store sushi.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you, Burp. Because I have a Tesco's near me, right? If Ralph is like probably M&S, Tesco's is probably worse than that shit. And it might be more expensive. I'm not doing that to my body. But the Tesco sushi would probably be... Actually, let's see what it looks like. Tesco sushi. Image. Let's see. Look at that. Do you want me to buy that? Look at how bad that looks already. Look at that. Look at that. Look. Do you guys want me to kill myself for the stream? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that sushi from Tesco's. Holy shit. No. Wow. Look at that one reduced. Look, reduced. £1.42. And you get like 6 in the box there. 6. I think it's like tuna or something. I don't know what it is in there. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. But big up Burp. Appreciate you.
Actually subscribing and liking and commenting, and I'm listening to all that stuff as much as I possibly can. I'm reading as much as I can with the time I have, and it continues to motivate me more and more and more to keep pumping out content. Thank you guys so much. Everyone who has subscribed already.
What happened to this Chin, by the way? His fucking incredibly unattractive face aside, what happened to this side of Chin? This like YouTuber enthusiastic side. We don't get it anymore. He's super like, I don't know. He's changed his style. What happened to this version of Chin? It's gone. It's like, hey guys, you know, what happened to that vibe? What happened to that one? What happened to that Chin? He's completely changed now, man.
You guys are awesome. Everyone that's about to subscribe, all you new subscribers, thank you as well. Like I said, it makes a difference. I don't know why it does, but it does. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show. I'm probably gonna put a song right here. One last thing, before I play this video, I'm sure it's gonna be a song that I'm singing about something. Before I do that, go to your Ralph's, your local Ralph's sometime.
Yo, why is he shilling Ralph's? Is he getting promoted or something? Relax with the Ralph plugs, bro.
This week, now or whatever, and enjoy yourself a nice tray of sushi at their sushi section. And let me know how it is. Be honest, comment below, let me know. All right? Thank you so much as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Here's the song now.
So when you say
R.I.P. George Michael. one of my fucking favorite singers of all time. Wham, very underrated fucking group or band, whatever. But R.I.P. George Michael, but God almighty.
That you need me, no, you never leave me.
It's the shoulder. It's the little shoulder. It's the little shoulder shuffle. Let's go back. Let's see the shoulder shuffle one more time, please. Let's see the look. Let's see. Look.
You need me, no, you never leave me. I know you're wrong. You're not that strong. Let me go.
Ah, shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, man. Hate his singing. Absolutely hate it. But yeah. Yeah, big up R&J. You had a little nap, yeah? You had a little chin nap. You had a little chin nap. That's what you had. You had a little chin nap. Big up R&J having his chin nap. Now you're back up again. Welcome to hell. You fall asleep to Brendan, you wake up to Chin. Welcome to hell. I will be your guide. Let's go. Down to the depths, bro. Let's all sink down below. Let's go again. Let's go again, man. Let's go again. Clin goes camping. Let's see this one. Yo, R.I.P. Bard, man. Wherever you are, hopefully you're alive and you're not dead. But R.I.P. Bard. She served the community well.
Especially because we lost our chat from previous conversation. Robbie, who is probably looking over and smelling the goods. Actually, no, he's probably like, that's disgusting, he or she, because it obviously didn't appreciate the chat. So, F you, Robbie, this is for us.
And that spam's going in there.
And the spam's going there, and some slices of cucumber. For some freshness.
Before I start,
To be fair, look at even the, like, I know I'm glazing the girl too much, but look at the difference even in the plates that they have when the girl was around. When Chin's ex-girlfriend was around, look at even the cleanliness of the plates. Look at the difference in that baguette thing to what we saw Chin cooking with that Vietnamese fucking sandwich he cooked, right? That bin ma. That bin mi. How you fucking pronounce it, right? The Vietnamese sandwich. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. When that ex-girlfriend left, it was over. Look at the difference in quality. Look at that. Look what that looks like compared to what Chin did.
so let me tell him, you're making banh mi.
I said, banh mi. You're making banh mi. Say that again. Banh mi. Oh, baby, banh mi.
You're making banh mi. What? You're making banh mi.
You're making banh mi.
You're making banh mi.
Banh mi.
You're making banh mi.
Banh mi.
What? You're making banh mi.
Banh mi.
What? You're making banh mi.
Oh.
What?
You're making banh mi.
What? Spam. One of my favorite meats in the world. Delicious.
Delicious.
Meal.
I'm gonna say this because it's my stream and I don't give a fuck and I just say what I fucking think. Do you guys get the feeling that I do, that Chin sometimes plays up this like Asian thing? Stay with me for a bit. He plays up this thing of like he's Asian and he can eat and he eats everything and tries everything and like don't you think it's a little bit like it's kind of like a weird LARP thing that he does as well? Don't you think a little bit? Like, I know he's Asian, I get it, but he plays up this idea like, oh, am I bugging? I don't know, man. I don't know. Spam's my favorite. Oh, really? You love Spam? Okay, cool. It's like, oh, I love sake. Oh, surprising you love sake. Shocked. Like, I don't know. Come on, a bit more enthusiasm, brother. A bit more enthusiasm, Chin. A bit more enthusiasm with a kiss, bro. George thinking that should be me. George is somewhere like, why couldn't that be me? George is fucking punching in the air right now. But they are quite Asian though, isn't it? To be fair, they take all these utensils to go and fucking camp. Maybe I take it back. I don't know. I think when you go camping, isn't it meant to be like lo-fi, like bare minimum? These niggas have got flasks, cups, frying pans. They're quite Asian, isn't it? They're quite Asian. It's like when African people go traveling, like when my parents go to the airport. They have like 17 million bags all fucking wrapped, right? Like they took the whole kitchen with them. The whole kit. Look, he's got a literal frying pan. Maybe he is Asian. I take it back. Maybe he is actually quite Asian.
Lovely.
Oh yeah.
Look at the quality of that. Look at the quality of that sandwich compared to what fucking Clint had to cook up. Look at that. Look at the quality of that. Look at the quality of that compared to what Chin put together, sorry. Fuck.
Spam banh mi.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
Yeah, she actually made good food, to be fair. She could actually cook. You could tell this girl actually knows how to make food, to be fair. This is, to be fair to her as well, or to be honest, most Asian people that I know can cook to that level anyway. Chin's a fucking outlier. He's the only Asian person I've seen in my life who, obviously he's a bit of a foodie, he likes to eat, but he's terrible around the kitchen. Like, terrible. Can't even make a simple egg bacon sandwich without it looking like absolute dog shit. So he's just a unique guy in that respect. He just, you know. And also, do you need to bend this low to eat a fucking baguette? Do you have to fucking be like, like, come on, man. Like, I don't look. I think Chin's one of those people that took. Remember that video or that original? Who did it? I think it was either Anthony Bourdain or Action Bronson. One of those people who like first did those clips about how to eat a burger when you have to like put your arms like this, and he took that shit too literally, and now he's been doing this forever, right? Just bend like, it's like, come on, man, like let's not fucking pretend we need you're fucking racking up weights to start a back squat in order to eat a fucking baguette. You know what I mean? Like, look how much like he's getting under the barbell. That's not that serious. Like, let's relax.
Babe. Just hit the spot so well.
Yeah, it looks much better than what you did. Cool. That's Chin doing that. That looks, to be fair, that looked really good. I'm not gonna lie. That actually looked quite decent. And then we've got I think this is the last Chin clip that I've got here, right? What's this one? Where is it? I got another Chin clip here that I want to show you guys. Bear with me a second. Okay, cool. This is a rotten fish one. This one should be a little bit of a disgusting one to get everybody's juices flowing. Rotten fish. Do you guys like rotten fish? Cool. I like it too. Let's play some rotten fish content from fucking Chin. Let's see Chin eating rotten fish. Right? This should be fun. This should be really fucking fun. Let's check this out.
Oh no.
You'll know if they're gonna bite though. They rear backwards.
Okay. We see what we're gonna go away for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll tell you when they're ready to bite.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
So creepy.
Have a good one. This fucking like lad voice that Chin does when he's talking to other guys. Yeah, I'm here. Have a good one. What is that? What is that voice he does? Yeah, man. Have a good one. Please don't fuck my wife. Please don't fuck my wife. Like, what's that
Thanks,
voice?
man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Yeah, that was cool though. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Yeah, that was cool though.
We watched the Squid Game, which is amazing.
Honestly, the light, the headlight thing is so redacted. I know it's useful, but change it.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. Jobo's getting the Korean barbecue out.
Korean.
Is that diamond?
They took a whole kitchen to go and cook this shit outside. Who does this stuff? Like, who does this? Look how much stuff they got on the table. Look at all this shit. For one day. Imagine if they spend a weekend camping. How much stuff would they take with them? They'll probably be doing runs back home.
In the background. Oh yeah. And I can't play that in the YouTube video because it's demonetized. So here.
Who cares? This guy's concerned about background music demonetizing his shitty vlogs. Who fucking cares? These things are barely watchable as they are. Who cares? Like, literally. What, you're not gonna be able to make your $20 per video? Like, relax, bruh. Like, what?
We're about to eat. We had to manage with the Korean barbecue.
Wow, bro. Wow. Okay, I take it back. They're really Asian. They brought an entire Korean barbecue out with them to go camping. Look at that massive fucking kitchen utensil. Look at that stove. Look at that. Look at it.
Your grill top.
Oh my God.
On the Coleman stove. All the panchan.
Wow. Wow. Okay, he's fairly Asian, to be fair. I don't know anybody else that would do this, to bring this much food with them to go camping. Usually it's like a fucking tuna mayo sandwich wrapped in fucking aluminium foil and shit, right? That's leaking all over the place and wet and, you know, probably stinks. So like an egg sandwich, like that's the most you're going to take with you. And sometimes if you're too hungry, you eat it before you get there and you're fucking starving. Like, you don't bring a whole kitchen with you. Or maybe you just bring loads of beer and you forget the food. But they brought an entire kitchen and some raw meats to cook. Exactly, Dusky. Hey, big up Dusky the Flow. Big up my guy. The bro brought a 7-course meal into the woods. Exactly. This is a 7-course meal. This is a legit Korean BBQ that he's brought to the fucking woods. Oh my God, Chin. Oh wow, it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks fucking delicious. But just remember, they're at a public campsite.
We got the Korean barbecue on the grill. Jobo's eating the panchan. Kimchi. Here we go. We grilling it up. We eating egg.
But look at the difference in how they cook now. You can tell Chin's living alone now, innit? Because he doesn't cook at this anymore. This woman really upgraded his life. She gave him a bit of fucking, you know, she gave him a bit of action, right? Some female company, and he got to eat really well. Now that she's not there anymore, he's literally cooking like a divorced dad. It's pretty sad, to be fair, because he was living well with this woman.
Let's eat.
I would love to know why she left. I think that's another thing I need to do. I need to go through all of Chin's videos and highlight the video where it seems like it was the first one after the breakup, to see if there's any sort of indication on why she left or why she broke up with it. Because I'm assuming, my assumption would be that she broke up with him. Most likely, right? I think we're all kind of assuming that. But I'd love to kind of see if there's any indication as to why. Because he fumbled hard. Scissors are the best for cutting barbecue. It's like, really? Is that like such an insight? You have to fucking like write it as if you're some like know-it-all. Scissors. Wow. Like. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how much of a trip this would be if you're like in a barbecue? Sorry, if you're in a campsite somewhere and you're hearing people literally like making Korean barbecue outside, like of the fucking grill going crazy. how much of a mindfuck that'll be for you. Like these people brought like how crazy this looks to people sleeping. Opening up their little tents, like looking through, like what the fuck's going on there, and just seeing these two freaks sitting in the pitch black doing this. Also, does it have to be so late at night? Can't this be like earlier? Damn, bro. You should be in your tents, fucking and sucking and drinking and shit now. Like,
It's not like normal for them.
This is romance, isn't it? Sitting in the pitch black dark with your boyfriend and your headlamp on, eating Korean barbecue in the cold. This is true love.
We're camping.
I know, honey.
He thought she was gonna kiss him and he just started to pat her back.
Oh my god.
You sound like you.
Have you tried it?
Yes, I have.
This one.
Yeah, I tried it.
Yeah. It's like missing something.
I tried it.
Sodium.
Fish sauce and sodium. I know it's fish. I have to eat the fish. I have to.
Okay.
You full? Tired?
I'm full. And watch those damn shows. They eat like so good and so well. I'm like,
So leave it here. Oh man. All my chopsticks just fell.
I think we turn off the stove now. Is this for the eggs? Yeah, good.
I'd rather sleep with a fucking hooker 7 days a week than do this shit. I swear to God, man. I'd rather just pay for someone to fucking pretend to be my girlfriend than this shit. I swear to God, I would rather pay for someone's company than this. I swear I would rather do that. Like, look at this. Look at this. Just look at this. Look at this. Look at this frame. Look at this frame. The headlights. The eggs. The stove. This, I guess this is like some sort of, here, I don't know. The TFATK merch.
Gosh, babe.
What?
The fish.
I know. And the noodles, you still want to cook both of them.
Great content. Just them chewing. Love it.
I have to cook the fish. I have to cook the fish.
I know.
Alright, we're full as hell. But you know what? I caught this fish. Gotta eat it.
Let's
cook it up.
Fish. What's the fish? How small is that fish? Is that goldfish? Is that a goldfish?
I know. I know it's a little small.
What's the point, Chin? What is the point?
We're gonna make sure this guy is taken care of, eaten, and puts nutrients in our bodies. Okay.
More nutrients.
More.
Look at that. Look how small that is. It's literally, it's smaller than the palm of his hands.
Yeah. All we have is olive oil.
He just finished eating 17 pieces of fucking Spam, and now he's gonna eat a bit of fish that hardly has any meat on it. And
also, that's all we'll do.
I don't know if it's been clean. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's gonna deep fry it. Of course he's gonna deep fry it. Is he gonna cover it in breadcrumbs as
Fry
well?
this up right quick.
Is he gonna cover the shit in breadcrumbs?
We're gonna call this guy Gil. Gil McGillicuddy. Just got seasoned up right.
He's covering the fish that's barely the size of the palm of his hands in breadcrumbs, but he's not even choosing to have anything on covering the fish, like, I don't know, egg yolk to bind the breadcrumbs to the fish. So how does he expect it?
Good. Nice. Pat it down. On that side. Flip them around.
Look,
Do
it
the
all just
same
fell
thing.
off. Hold on. All of that stuff he covered it with on one side. Look what happened when he flipped it. Look what happened when he flipped it. Look what happened.
Flip them around.
It's all gone. Look, it's all gone. So you have like Darsky the Flow says, you have a 7-course barbecue meal, but you don't have any eggs. I don't know, even some milk. I don't know, something, bro. Like,
Do the same thing.
what's the point?
And I love this seasoning. It's Andes low sodium fish bread.
He's got a thing about this low sodium thing, innit, right? Maybe just cut back on eating Korean barbecue in general. Instead of like all of these low sodium alternatives, he's really hung up on like not eating carbs and not having sodium, but he refuses not just to cut out eating chips and stuff. He'd rather gut the bread and have low sodium soy sauce and low sodium like breading. Fish bread. Maybe cut back on the Korean barbecue.
Bread.
Breaded.
Mm-hmm.
It's not breaded
And
though.
then the best part of these fish are the fins. I'm telling you.
Exactly, Fashion Road Man. Bro it's overnight. Low Fashion Road Man would sense overnight marinade. Do you think he knows what that means? Do you think Clint has ever marinated anything in his life, let alone overnight? He doesn't know what that means. He doesn't know what that means. He just caught the fish, cut it in half, and then covered it in this store-bought breading with no binding agent, nothing. Just on a kitchen towel, thinking it's gonna stick. I don't know what he did. Maybe he put some. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna put them inside now.
Is it hot enough, the oil?
Make sure it's all covered up. Good to go.
Look at all.
I didn't use that.
There's probably more breading on the paper towel than there is on the fucking fish. There's more fish breading on that paper towel than there is on the actual fish. Where's it all gone? It's all gone there. Guess because there's no. Oh, this is fucking insane.
This time, so here we go.
And what happens when he puts it in the frying pan? Most likely it's all gonna spread. It's all gonna fucking jump off the fucking fish. Right, watch.
It's gonna be really hot.
Of course.
Oh, thanks.
No heat control, no heat management, nothing. Yeah, cool.
Right up. See you tell? Crisping up.
Carlin.
Get all up in there.
What do you eat it with?
Nothing, man.
I have an avocado.
He probably would have been better off just like grilling it on that fucking barbecue grill. Why did he decide to bread it? Like, he probably could have got away with just dashing a bit of oil on that massive fucking dish that he had and just putting the fish on there and just keep flipping it. You know? That would have probably been a better way to kind of go about doing it than just desecrating this tiny bit of fish in a frying pan, or in oil. Like, exactly. The fish didn't deserve to go. Like, I just can't understand the decision-making process that he has when he does these things. Forget how terrible he is at making food. You look at the fish, it's a tiny thing like that. Why not just quickly put it on the grill and just eat it that way? Like, all this work, which is no real work because you didn't really do the work, and then you've ended up like wasting whatever that was there, and now you've destroyed it, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is
Oh
more.
no, there's bugs in there, honey.
Oh. Let me put this out real quick. Right quick.
What did the ranger say?
The girl in the background of, I'm not sure if you can hear her, she's saying something about she's cold. Hey, you know, wrap up your fucking stupid vlog. Let's go in the tent and, you know, snuggle. He's more obsessed with making content with this shit. Probably explains why he's not with her anymore.
I thought so. I told you, I was like, I just hope no one walks by. And of all people that walk by, a ranger.
That's good.
Yeah, the tails.
It's thin, yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
Oh yeah. So let it rest for a second. And let me show you the best part, baby. The best part.
Let me show you the best part. I love how he's trying to tell her like he's a better cook when she can obviously cook far better than him.
Oh, it's already gone.
What?
The best part.
What do you mean gone?
The tail.
You already ate it?
No, it's just falling apart.
Oh.
Yummy. So here's our bluegill. I know it's not it's not big at all, but when we caught it, it was the biggest one here at this lake, right, babe? We saw so many bluegill. We had to keep one. Oh shoot! So the best part is the tail, which I'll show you right now. It's mostly gone now because I've fried it too long.
You're not cooking up the noodles, are you?
Probably not, babe.
That poor fish.
All right. Here are the fins, the dorsal fins.
Nigga made fish chips. Fish chips. You had that shit frying so long you turned it into one big chip. It's little fish Dorito. He's eating it with chopsticks. This guy, we get it. You're Asian. We get it. We get it. We get it. You're Asian. We get it, bro. Chopsticks, really? Chopsticks?
What is it?
Yummy.
That might be the perfect place to end it, to be fair. That might be the perfect place to end it. Chin eating this desecrated fish with chopsticks. Perfect place to end it. Perfect place to end it. I need that screen grab. I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it for my soul. I need that. I need this. I need this. Look at that. That should be in a t-shirt, bro. That should be in a SUSHI t-shirt or something, bro. That's fucking Tyrone LeBon. Eat your fucking heart out. Look at that. Look at him. You got a bit of the fucking, the glare there coming through. Oh my God, bro. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Look at that. He wants to go around Chins and eat. He wants to go to Chins for a munch. He wants to hang out with Chin and have him cook you up something to eat. Eh? He wants to go around Chins for a little late night munch. Are you guys down? You want a bit of Chin stuff, right? You want Chin to give you a bit of sausage? No pun intended. Would you like that? You want some Chin sausage? Anyway, my friends. It's been a chore. Crash. It was a POW camp. What's that? Shits and fips. That was disturbing. Imagine the smell. R&J. Chin a munch. Yeah, exactly. J. Fashion. This is how I know I'm too black. I can't find a reason to be eating in the woods when I can't. This is the thing, Fashion Roadman. You're right? But surely, if you're going to the woods, it's almost like going to this. No, I won't say it's the same. It's like going to the cinema. I don't know. Are people taking little mini cookers to them in the fucking when they go to the cinema? Is that what they're doing? It's the way I just don't. The most I would take with me is a literal sandwich. I might make it at home. I might buy it pre-made. That's it. But he takes his whole entire kitchen with him, which is one thing, fair. But then he goes there and can't make shit. Even the bear stayed away. Exactly, does get a fur. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm gone, people. I'm gone. I'm leaving. Gym time is fast approaching. Thank you for tuning in. Random show settings. That was really fun. Really bad, really fun, really good, really bad, really good, really fun, really bad, really good. Thank you for tuning in. Always a fucking pleasure, never a chore, as I always say. But this was definitely more of a chore. I have to say this with my whole chest and admit that. It was definitely a chore. But I did enjoy being here with you guys. So please, thank you for that. Make sure you like the stream. Don't be stingy. Like the stream. That'd be much appreciated. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys again very shortly. Thank you for tuning in. Be fucking safe, okay? Don't delay. Be safe. Take care. Be well. Peace.